everybody, and welcome to a sober wild ride with Steve-O. Man, I gotta say that this week's guest, Brandon Novak, has got to be the most recklessly honest guest we have ever had. I'm asking the guy about prostituting himself for drugs, and he's like, oh yeah, you want to know about every little gross sex act he pulled? You just stay tuned, okay? You stay tuned right here. And where is right here for me? I'm balls deep in my bucket list tour, baby. And you know what that means? I don't have time to go get harassed in some restaurant. No. I'm not even leaving my tour bus at the venue to get my food. And how am I going to get food like this delicious tomato soup that's nice and hot still? DoorDash, baby. And boy, do I have a deal for you. If you want to not get off your sofa and just order up the dopest meal of your choosing, plus get 25% off your first order of $15 or more, and no delivery fees up to a value of $10, all you got to do, baby, is download the DoorDash app and use the promo code Steve-O. That's right. They love the Wild Ride podcast listeners. So, and one more time, that's 25% off your first order of $15 or more, up to a value of $10 if you download the DoorDash app and use the promo code Steve-O. So, enjoy some DoorDash feast, and let's get into it. Okay, dude, so we're rolling everywhere?
I'm okay over here.
Rolling, Lux? Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling on everything.
See?
I got myself. I thought about it.
You thought about it. It just ricocheted off your hand into my forehead.
As soon as he coughed, I looked up too to see.
Yeah.
Just,
I was recording
Okay.
that whole time.
he's going to forget about it. Well, hopefully we can start it there.
Yeah,
At the
I
cough.
have a cough. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Novak. Yeah, dude.
I'm really stoked to be here, man.
Well, dude, we're stoked to have you. You know, we didn't make it clear on previous podcasts that this is actually our tour bus. It's still a wild ride. If anything, it's even wilder.
Well, if you see this in the background, that's the tour bus.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're on said tour.
Right, and I'm so excited that we, for the first time, are sitting down with a guest who has been present at one of the shows on our bucket list tour.
It's
And we just got done performing right now.
yeah, it's having known you through a lot of years and a lot of experiences and great memories. I never walk away feeling like I didn't get what I was hoping for. When we were getting loaded, it was insanity, and I've been locked in some hotel rooms with you where you would not let us leave. And this was that, but like on angel dust. You know, like
Well, right, dude,
I
thank
didn't
you.
want to watch it, but I couldn't not watch it, and I found myself like laughing uncontrollably a lot of times.
Well, thanks, dude. Tonight,
I want to fucking kind of fuck Doggo. I got like this intimate feeling from him because he
Right.
really took care of you and comforted you in a really extreme
Right.
time.
Right,
Well,
man.
Doggo, you want to explain who Doggo is?
Dog was the guy who was strapped to my back while I was butt naked and furiously jerking off in the airplane before I blew the load as I fell out with Doggo on my back. And it was great to have you at the show, and it was great that was the biggest audience I've ever performed stand-up for as a headliner.
It's funny because the last show I went to, you were at the smaller venues.
Comedy club.
And you have to like order drinks or food
Right.
at the table. It's like going to a strip joint. You can't go there and not give
Spend
money.
Right. It's called a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah, which I get, but the caveat in that plan tonight was that I just ate before I got here, and I'm like, fuck, I don't really want. So when I got here and saw that wasn't the deal, I was really stoked.
Right.
But then when I saw the crowd, and dude, you're a sober guy, I'm a sober guy, and you got sober years before me, but I've always watched what you've done, and you've provided me with a lot of like motivation and kind of self-assurance in myself through believing in what you're doing. So to see you transition from those small, 2-drink minimum joints to these sold-out arenas, it just continues.
We're not in arenas yet, man, but that's the goal.
Yeah, well, you got to speak it to existence,
Right,
right?
dude. Fucking
That's
right
it,
on, man. Well, thank you, dude. And we don't have to harp on about how amazing the performance was. We can get into other things, dude. There's a lot I want to talk to you about.
Can I start at the beginning with you guys? When did you guys meet? What's your timeline together?
First time that we met, I'm gonna guess it was probably like in the filming of. Was it Jackass #2 that you came into the scene?
It was 2. It was when I came into the scene. But remember the gumball rally? Was that before?
Yeah, but I wasn't on your gumball rally, I don't think.
When we went out, we destroyed that car for BAM. I feel like that was the first night we really
Hit it off.
Okay.
I don't know which came first.
But that was a Jackass #2 situation.
Yeah.
So
I guess the filming of
Wait, were
2.
you not on Viva La Bam?
Yeah.
You were
I
or
was
you
there.
weren't?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that the first time I remember would have been like the day when they brought like a snowblower into like April's house and it was like ski down the stairs.
That you're right. That was the first initial meeting.
And dude, it's your fucking fault, dude, that I got that awful baby tattoo because
I remember
it's your
that.
fucking fault because that day when they filled the house with snow and you went skiing down the stairs and flew through the screen door, it was that same day, and I think it was the first day that we met when I saw your tattoo of 2 male rollerbladers like having missionary gay sex.
Full on.
And I was just like, dude, that is the most aggressive,
I remember, yeah.
like hilarious tattoo. And then like I was like, I gotta one up that.
I remember when you.
That was like my motivation.
and you did. You did.
You did it.
And then people were like, "You did." Like, Steve-O, we love you. We're your fan, but.
Yeah. No,
You
that
won.
made your rollerblader sex tattoo look so classy.
I just won by default. Fuck yeah. Story of my life, dude.
Yeah. And
Well, I was so stoked because you were writing a book at the time. You're like, I'm going to use that for the cover of my book.
Oh, I don't know that I was writing a book at that time.
Or you had some kind of book.
I was
thing.
always working on a book, but it was never like a real serious thing until after I got sober.
But nonetheless, like, you were fucking steps and eons ahead of me as far as like the fame with Jackass. So I was just taking it vicariously through you wanting my tattoo on your book. Like, I'll fucking ride that coattail. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. And suffice to say, you were a mess. You haven't been like very open about your struggles with drugs and alcohol. I thought maybe we could kind of peer into that.
That's something I'm really candid about. I'd like to rather not speak on that.
Is this an exclusive?
Yeah.
I don't know if you let people know, but
Does anyone? I'm sober. But
have you come out and let people know?
I'm fucking sober.
So you are super candid about it, and as somebody who follows you on social media, like it seems that like all the time you're posting, hey, if you need help, like with issues with addiction, then call me.
Yeah.
And you include a phone number there.
Yeah.
Is that actually your number in your pocket? Like it would be ringing all day.
So I have 2 phones that I carry around. One is that number, and if I don't answer that, like if it doesn't work with what I'm doing like right now, then it goes through to a team of people that help aid and assist that person with whatever their situation is.
Okay.
What's the success rate of somebody calling you and getting help and staying sober? I mean, not that there's a percentage, but is it common? I mean, do people actually go through on?
Yeah, totally. You know, it's you have to weed it out. It's
Scott knows better than
No,
success rates in general with addiction are like
they're shit.
just terrible.
Yeah, it makes it very undesirable if you look at the stats. Like, you just think
Well,
you're fighting
I mean,
unwinning cause.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I first heard the statistics. And
Yeah.
I was in rehab in 1995, and I was only 20 years old. And I was like, wait, 95% of the alcoholics and addicts don't get sober? Like, then why would I even bother? And the statistics kept me loaded.
Totally.
But then once I was ready,
Yeah.
I could argue that the statistics kept me sober because I knew that the odds were so against me that I had to just, like, do everything in my power to give myself an advantage. And it really, like, made me take it seriously. And so I stayed in sober living until I had 2 years. I did all this stuff to, like, really give myself the advantage. And that's, you know, really why I'm still around.
That's my fucking approach exactly. Like, you know, obviously, I loved drugs and alcohol. I couldn't get enough, right?
Dude, let's not say that in the past tense. I mean, fucking, dude, we
Well,
love
still,
drugs.
yeah.
I would love to get loaded. I
But
just
now
can't
it's
do
like I get off on like the sobriety part of it, right? It's the kind of the closest connection that I have with that past. So it works for me. So me, like you, I remember going to treatment like, this half of the room's dead. This
Right.
half of the room,
Yeah.
look to your right, your left. Well, 2 of those are dead. I'm like,
Right
fuck.
now, I think they say, okay, look around.
Yeah.
There's 12 of you. Only one of you's gonna make
Yeah,
it.
it's like,
That's what the
fuck,
statistics are.
dude, why am I wasting my or your time? Just fucking get loaded. And I do that. And so when I got sober, I'm like, dude, fuck statistics. Because the statistics state that I should be high or dead right now. And I'm not.
Yeah.
And it defies odds and logic. So, like, if I can do it, why the fuck can't you?
Right. I think that the problem is that the statistics are for, like, alcoholics and addicts at large, whereas, like, when people actually get serious about recovery and start doing the things that we do, then all of a sudden the statistics are a whole different deal.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
don't even exist, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you get into this program of recovery and do the things we do, then
It's a pretty simple process.
yeah. But let me ask you this, because it's something that occurs to me kind of a lot, you know, being someone who follows you, like how just about every post that you put on Instagram, like, it almost invariably is related to your recovery.
Yeah.
And then and so I think my question is, how many people have expressed concern that, like, whoa, you know, like, you're putting it out there so much that, like, we worry about you.
Sure. Some have, right? Like, the people that are pretty close to me have.
Because I identify as one of those people. I think, man, oof, like, Novak's putting it out there so much, like, as, like, his identity.
Yeah.
That, like, it feels like, you know, I'm, like, scared. Like, I just worry about it, you know?
Thank you for that, right? Like, that's what friends are for.
Yeah, dude.
And for me, I kind of treat it as like an added layer of safety, right? Like, I'm such an extremist and I'm such a fucking all or nothing that it kind of adds a little more to, like, what helps keep me, like, wanting to do this. Like, I could easily sneak and let myself down and no one will know. So
Right.
it's like jumping out of a plane with 2 parachutes as opposed to 1, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I just think, like, here's what creeps me out, and it creeps me out so much. When I heard that the people with the highest rates of relapse are people who work in recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so counterintuitive. If you imagined that, like, you know, the people who died of cancer the most were doctors who worked with cancer patients or something. You know,
You
like,
think, like, you should know.
right. It's counterintuitive.
Absolutely.
Terrible example with the cancer thing, but it just makes me, like, think, oof, you know, like, I want to be so careful to not ever, like, professionalize, you know, recovery.
To let that become the identity of the individual.
Right, dude. I had this one experience where, I got hired to go to a university, and they did. It was to just do an onstage Q&A about mental health. And I didn't even think about it. They were paying me, like, you know, an obnoxious amount of money to go out and, like, answer questions. I'd go on stage and, like, and very quickly, every question that they asked me about mental health, my answer I would find was like, oh, well, you know, I kind of only really know, like addictions. I can't speak to, you know, like all the various mental health issues, but, like, you know, I see everything kind of through the prism of just, like, you know, addiction and alcoholism and recovery. And then, like, very quickly I realized, oh my God, like I'm here getting paid to share the message of recovery. And the scariest thing of all was after I got done, I had this thought flash through my mind, which was, oh, well, dude, if everything dries up and comedy doesn't work out and like this or that, like, I mean, I suppose I could go around getting paid to talk about recovery. And then I was like, no, you know, I'm like, that's what scares me the most.
Sure. You know, the two things that I know about in this world is skateboarding and drugs and alcohol. Like, that's kind of what I know and I love the most.
And dude, by the way, you are fucking skateboarding, dude. I'm so impressed by the video you showed me before.
Again, and I'm not trying to suck you off live on this show, but seeing the clips that you send me, and I'm like, dude, this is... Because when I got sober, I wanted no part of skateboarding, because I felt like it was the love that I let get away.
Have you surpassed a younger you?
Yeah.
Because that's been my goal. Like I was like, man, in my 40s, if I can outskate every younger version of me.
I mean, I have a video part coming out that is by far the best part I've ever put out at 42.
Right,
Like, I'm still learning tricks. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, like physically, mentally.
But we have to fight so hard to get a trick.
I saw your post the other day when you slammed that kickflip. I could relate to, like, I saw it in your face.
I'm still sore.
Yeah, like, I need a walker for like 5 days after I skate. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's a lot hard. I can't flip the board much these days.
Steve, have you surpassed the old skateboarding you?
There are certain things that I just will never be able to do again, that I could do at a certain time, you know? But what I've been going after, and like when I try to get a new trick, it's such a battle. But the tricks that I have gotten are things that I either have never done before or are like way bigger versions of something I've done before. So like I have outskated myself, but leaving out a bunch of stuff that I could never do that I could do before.
I noticed that I start really kind of talking myself out of things that I could probably do. Like, oh, well, it's pretty dicey, I could get hurt. Where before, that was never the mind frame. It was like, do first, think last. Now I'm kind of being really cautious, overly maybe. And
that's so funny.
We can like keep a tally for those.
Before we start recording,
you didn't go
Scott's
that way.
Like, Steve coughs towards me every time. And I just did that. Again, I have coughed towards you every time.
In your life. Not just on the podcast.
Okay.
But hey, who's counting?
So, dude, like, here's another question. When you were in the throes of addiction, you know, actively shooting up as much as you possibly could.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not get, like, AIDS and shit? Were you, like, sharing needles and shit? Did you just get super lucky? Man, how did you not get AIDS when you're sharing needles? Is that a question or what? Plus, Brandon Novak has no problem telling you exactly what the answer is. And I got no problem telling you how I don't get sick on tour. Because I take care of my hydration, man, and my vitamins. And how do I do that? With Liquid IV. This doesn't just make you more hydrated and healthier. It tastes absolutely delicious. I got all these killer flavors, and you know what I'm going for today? Strawberry, baby. And so I just take one stick, little packet of Liquid IV, drop it into 16 ounces of water, and boom, it's like I drank 3 16 ounces of water. That's what I'm talking about, man. And convenient 16-ounce can of liquid death makes it real easy to just drop that all in there. This is how I start my day, man. And with extra hydration, extra vitamins, I don't worry about getting sick because I can't be missing shows on my tour. Hell no. All right. So, if you go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code STEVO, you get 25% off of anything you want to get. And trust me, you want to get it. So, to get that 25% off of anything you want to order at liquidiv.com, use the promo code STEVO, baby. And never miss a show, never get sick, and keep rocking on tour. Yeah, dude. Now let's talk about not getting AIDS.
My newest book that came out, there's a chapter called "The AIDS Needle That I Shot Up With," and like things got really bad. I'm living in these abandoned houses in East Baltimore, and I remember I was doing my deal, and the needle jammed up, right? And it's like the middle of the night, and so I'm look on this floor, and it's just polluted with all these dirty needles, used needles, and I literally kind of process of elimination looked for the one that was the least used.
You're like,
right?
this one doesn't have AIDS on it. This one does. This one doesn't.
This one probably out of all of them might not. Like, this is my best shot of it.
No, like, don't you give yourself a pretty good chance if you just flush it through with water?
Bleach.
Okay, but even water would help, right? Because what it is about hypodermic needles that makes it so dangerous for HIV is that in that hollow needle in there, the HIV virus is not exposed to air. Like on a tattoo needle, it's a solid needle, so everything's exposed to air. It's very difficult to get AIDS from that.
At that point in time in my life, I had no idea of any of that knowledge. That wasn't my reference.
Right.
You know,
you
it was
just
like
flush through.
I'm just like sick. Let's do it.
Right.
And I used the needle, and
you're making it sound like it was one night. You're telling me you never shared names.
I did, but this is the one time where like I thought like I definitely just got it, right? Like it was one time that was really stuck out above all the other times that I've shared needles, right? And I've done it often at that point in time. So a few months later down the line, I'm sick, and there's this place. It's kind of like a health clinic, and they're paying you $30 to get blood work done. So they pay you $30 to get the blood work done, and then they give you they give you $20 to come back and pick the results up. So
it's a medical study, and they're testing like different ways of.
They want the drug addicts to come in to get tested, so they know they'll do that with the money, and then the $20 on the back end to pick it up to get the results. So when you come in, they're also giving you clean needles, because it's kind of a harm reduction deal. Right,
and I think there's a great many addicts that just don't want to know if they have HIV or not, and so they're really paying you $20 to inform you, because should the addict know that they have HIV, then maybe they'll be a little bit more responsible about spreading it.
Ignorance is no longer bliss.
Right.
Point proven. So I go $30, let them take the test. Cool. No intentions ever to go back and get the results, because I'm fucking.
You're like, dude, I don't need $20 that bad.
No,
yeah. I'm living in a dumpster, but
legit. Until one day I needed the $20 that bad, right? So I go back.
Were you so scared?
Terrified, and they give me the 20, and the doctor's there, and I said, look, doctor, please, I beg you, just don't tell me if I have HIV. You can tell me anything else. Just give me it all but that. And he says, well, the good news is you don't have HIV, but the bad news is you have hepatitis C. And I fucking high-fived him. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Dude, I remember when I went, like, I had my family all giving me a hard time about my lifestyle and my addiction, and I was like, look, I'm gonna go to this fucking executive health program, and get the most comprehensive checkup known to man, because Dr. Drew told me about it. It wasn't even covered by insurance because it was just so like extra, you know. And I'm like, I'm gonna get tested, every fucking test you can possibly, and if I come back healthy, then you guys get off my back. And I was just like, dude, of course I'm gonna come up clean. So I go up, get all these tests, and then the doctor calls, like, hey, I need to give you your results in person.
Oh,
that's like not
that's
good.
a horrible sign.
So I go in there and I'm thinking, fuck, man, like what is, like, what's wrong with my wiener, right?
I'm scared for you right now.
I go into the doctor's office and I'm like, doc, is it my wiener? You know, is it like I'm thinking like I've got some terrible STD. He goes, no, your wiener's fine. And I'm like, whoa, yeah. And he says, oh no, it's your heart. He says, you've got a heart condition. You've got the heart of an 80-year-old man.
Oh,
and
wow.
Like, I don't see you living to the age of like 40 or something like that. And I was like, who, like, high five.
Yeah, right?
Fuck my heart. My wiener's cool.
I'll fuck my way into heaven.
Yeah, and then it turned out that I had very like borderline cardiomyopathy, like minor.
So did you do what was
my
necessary?
heart's chilling.
You're good.
I I think my heart's good, dude.
Hey, how do you get into shooting dope? I mean, I know it's obvious. Like, did you start with Vicodin and you went to Oxy, and then you're like, "Fuck, it's just cheaper to get heroin"? Or like, what's the psychology? Because not a
It's
lot of
old
people,
school.
but not a lot of people decide to inject in their vein. Like, what was that decision like the first time injecting into your veins?
So no, I didn't start with the pills. It kind of went from the herb to the blow to I did Grateful Dead tour for a little bit, and I did
Wait, what year?
96, 95, 94.
What Jerry died in 95.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to be because I was supposed to be at the last show they played Unbroken Chain at Charlotte Coliseum, which is where I got arrested, so I didn't get to see him play the song. So definitely 95 because I was at that show, and before. My reference of years is fucked, but that was the first time I was arrested at 17, and in Mecklenburg, I ended up going to Mecklenburg State Penitentiary because you're an adult at 17 from the fucking Grateful Dead show. But point being is when I got into Dead Tour, I got into it for selling drugs and like making good money, not
Sure.
for the music.
Me too, man. I went to every single show on the East Coast 94 tour of the Grateful Dead.
What kind of drugs were
I
you
think
guys
I
selling?
got on probably maybe then, but a little right after. So I might have just missed you.
I mean, dude, I would show up to the show like with my car on fumes, you know.
Yeah.
I had this used car. It'd be on fumes, and I would like go like do a backflip for like like a buck or something. I'd do like 5 backflips for $1, and then I'd be like, okay, cool, like I've got $5, and then I would like. For $5, I would go to a deadhead and get like 3 hits of acid.
Yeah.
And then I would take each hit of acid and go sell them for $5. Now I've got $15. And then I would take that $15 and go buy like an eighth of weed.
That's it.
And then like once I had the eighth of weed, I would sell that for like fucking $30. And then now I got $30 and I go and fucking buy a bag of mushrooms.
It's just a constant come up. So I was riding for Pal at the time, and I would go and I'd have boxes of boards, and I'm just selling boards on the lot, trading them for tickets, you name it.
Yeah.
And
so you're a fan of Grateful Dead music?
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I've noticed
Yeah,
that I
dude.
listen to it more now with my age. I'm just kind of at that point in my
Scott
life.
and I are big.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I've kind of come back. I missed the whole Fish era. That didn't really do it for me because I did Dead Tour. So it was like,
Yeah.
not my. But anyway, so I meet up with this guy out of San Francisco who lays grams of acid, lays crystal grams. So we're getting like 20 10-packs at a time books.
10 packs of sheets of
Yeah.
water acid.
So it's
that's
1,000
like
hits.
like a sheet has 100 hits.
So there's 1,000 in a book.
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting like, this guy's coming with the raw gram and he's actually laying it in a hotel, and me and a couple other dead, we go in, and I get this paper one night, and the guy who's going to buy a few books doesn't have all the cash, but he has some heroin.
How much would a book be?
For me, at that level where I was getting it right from the guy
Wholesale?
laying the grams, like $300-400
And then how much can you make off that?
For 1,000
for
hits.
1,000 hits. And this is back in '95.
1,000 hits, so at $5 a hit, that's 5,000. So you're more than 10 times in your money.
Easily. But I wasn't doing it in that. I was still selling it in books for like 800 and still doing great. Because we had
Right,
so
wow.
much.
If you get caught with a book,
It's
you
called-
are
I mean, dude, if
it's-
you get caught with
Attempting to
3 hit.
They charge you with attempting to overthrow the government with that.
I mean, dude, they're
Really?
like the
Yeah, it's
Grateful
gnarly.
Dead tour. There are still people in prison for this.
Yeah, oh.
The Grateful Dead tour was just a fucking left a just in its wake, just people in prison for decades.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
How do you know that? Your documentary?
I don't know if it was a documentary, but
Or just friends I know.
It's facts.
It's fucking
It's
facts. I mean, dude,
widely
like,
known.
I didn't hear about overthrowing the government, but I know that like a lot of acid. If you've got LSD, that's a fucking
Oh, dude.
heavy crime.
It's
dude.
serious.
How long do you go to jail for if you get caught overthrowing the government?
Fuck
I don't
it.
know
mean,
why
treason,
acid's
bro.
overthrowing the government, but
Huh?
Is it because it's
You get
like
beheaded.
It's like you can brainwash people to or something like
I don't
that.
know.
But we still didn't get to the heroin.
Yeah.
So I sold this guy. So back to the heroin.
And cue.
And the heroin.
And if you didn't know,
Needles.
I'm sober too, guys. I'm a sober guy here.
Needles, heroin, you're on.
Did heroin doesn't do heroin. And here we go.
And if you need help, call me.
So you're buying books of acid.
Yeah, we have a guy flying in from San Francisco who's laying raw grams, and that leaves us with lots of books. And one night, this guy was short on the cash, so he gave us some heroin. And I was like, cool, whatever. Paid no mind to it.
What kind of heroin? Tar?
No,
China white?
Yeah.
He flew in from San Francisco. We were in Baltimore, so it was like just white raw dope, not like the West Coast Chiva tar. And I just put it in my sock drawer, like totally didn't think about it, forgot about it. A few days later, we're catching the Greyhound bus to, I forget what show it was. We were jumping back on tour. And my buddy's like, you got the dope. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. So in my mother's bedroom at my mother's house at just turned 17.
How much dope was it?
It was like $200 worth.
Okay, so what's that? Like
grams,
8 ball?
maybe like a gram. It was raw heroin, so you don't get a lot there. But we did it, and I instantly snorted it, and instantaneously threw up. So that continued on. But how I went from that to shooting it was...
Well, because snorting, it's just fucking wasteful.
What, did you like it when you snorted it?
Yeah, I loved it. But you build a tolerance,
yeah.
right? And you need more, and you got to spend more to get that same high.
And so, like, everybody does heroin for their first time. They're like, I would never shoot up.
Totally.
But then you're snorting it or smoking it, and, like, you develop a tolerance. It's not getting you, and you're like, fuck, man. Like, I love heroin, and I just, like, I can't not shoot up because it's just not economical, and I want to actually get that feeling stronger.
And then someone like me comes along and says, dude, if you fucking shoot up like a half of a dime bag, you'll be just as high as sniffing that 300. And you know what I mean? And so all of a sudden, shooting up is not so taboo anymore.
Did you ever shoot anybody up for their very first time?
No, I wasn't good at... I could do me. But
how do you learn how to shoot up?
I got some words of wisdom for you. Don't shoot up. How about that? Yeah. And you want some real wisdom? Let me tell you this saying I heard. The only beverage of the wise man is water. And you can get your water in a super cool looking tall boy can that looks just like a beer and is infinitely recyclable from Liquid Death. I'm telling you, man, it's the easiest way to stop drinking a bunch of super unhealthy soda to switch to Liquid Death sparkling water. And you're not just making a healthy choice for yourself, you're making a healthy choice for Mother Earth, man, because the environment is getting devastated by plastic, which is why infinitely recyclable cans from Liquid Death are saving the world. And I'm telling you, man, I'm a lot healthier because I'm drinking a lot more water, staying hydrated in the mornings with my Liquid Death spring water and drinking my Liquid Death sparkling water throughout the day. Now, you want to know how cool this company is? They're giving you the craziest deal. You go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo and you get free shipping on all your orders of water and merch. And they've got killer merch. Do you know how crazy that is? Like cases of water, they weigh a lot. To ship them, that's expensive, and you don't have to pay it. If you go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo, you get free shipping on your orders, man. That's because Liquid Death is a cool company, and they love the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast. So get on over to liquiddeath.com/Stevo, and let's talk about how you learn how to shoot up.
Like, I know a buddy of mine who was in there and watched a YouTube video.
That's fucking advanced. Like, I didn't do that. I would give someone a little bit.
Can you look up on YouTube how to shoot up heroin and see if a video
Or like,
fucking pops up?
That's insane.
How to like use a needle? You know?
How to...
But how do you? Who teaches you that?
So I would give somebody a little bit to do it for me at first.
What a pussy.
And then, absolutely. And then after I got tired of giving it to him, I learned real quick.
Somebody, I mean, dude, you're a piece of shit if you shoot somebody up for their first time.
Yeah, but I mean, you are, but you're already so disconnected from reality that, like, why would that not make sense?
I guess you're maybe part of
there's no ethics and morals involved of like when you're smacked up
at that point in time.
Were you ever in a situation where someone OD'd and just everyone's like, let's dip? Or like throw them in a dumpster.
No, that's
Jesus.
fucking callous. Even at that point, I don't know if I would. It happens.
Right, it happens all the time.
Nah, I like to think of myself as a fucking junkie with morals. Like I actually was like I think a good person.
Here, hold on to this 100 for me.
Yeah, I would steal that. But I wouldn't let you die. Fuck.
Right? Did you find anything? Oh my god!
So this video is safer heroin injecting. how to do it the safest way possible. It started. He was like washing his hands at the beginning.
There you go.
That's
and showing
got
how to
a
do
man
it.
after my own heart.
722,000 views.
722,000
And how long?
What? How long is the video? 3 minutes.
You know, okay. Yeah. How many months has it been out, or how many
I'm
years?
sorry. It's 8 years. It's been out. So maybe it's the video your buddy saw.
It could be.
Wow.
They were doing it
dude.
safely.
But so when you're shooting up, like, what do you're flicking it to get the bubbles out because you'll die if a bubble gets into your veins?
They would say that an air bubble could create something in your veins. You know, I just did it because that's just what I saw other people doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, like, I wasn't reinventing the wheel here.
And the first time you get shot up with it, you're just like, oh, dear God.
So the first time I got shot up with, though, was not that way, right? So I'm sniffing it, and then my girlfriend at the time, we're driving through this reservoir, and she nods out, and my head, and gets to a car accident, and my head goes through the windshield, right? So I'm in the hospital, and they have me with all these IVs, and a guy brings me heroin to the room, and he just puts it right into the IV that then goes in my arm. So
Did he have to cook it on a spoon?
Yeah.
Before
In the
dumping it
hospital room?
totally in the hospital room, and then that was my first, way of injecting it.
that's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
epic.
And you like it?
I loved it. So do you know when in the
That's
hood,
so
like
gnarly.
when addicts get really bad and they kind of blow out of their veins and they have to go to the hospital and the hospital puts an IV in, they'll leave with the IV just
The
because they have a
Heplock.
direct main line.
Yeah.
Because they can't hit it on their own.
Holy moly.
Right. You don't want to close that door if
Yeah.
it's open. Yeah.
So they'll like legit go there to get them to run an IV on you for whatever they say they need or however they can make it happen, and then walk out of the hospital with a fucking
Wow.
IV bag. And
How long is that good for? How long can you keep it?
I don't know.
Until it falls out?
Yeah, I'm sure they're
Until
not
it's
too
an
worried.
abscess. Did you ever have
I
abscesses?
never had an abscess.
Is there a point where, like, a rock bottom of, like, fuck, dude, I'm shooting up in my toes now, or am I shooting
I
up
shot
in my
up
dick?
bleach one time. That was pretty bad.
you
Why-
injected bleach?
Yeah, because so I'm living with this woman named Annette in these projects that no white people really belong in. It's and I couldn't leave the house to go cop. Right, it was like a really rough neighborhood, and so she would go. But one day I didn't have any money, so she goes out to cop, and when she leaves, I get her needles and her spoons, and I'm like putting water on the spoons and getting like her leftovers, like a hot shot of her leftovers. But I'm also using her needles.
Scraping the resin.
Yeah, but
So you're like, I'm shooting up her blood, so I should probably mix some bleach into it, but there's a little bit of heroin in
But
there.
I'm in a hurry, right? I'm in a hurry because Annette's gone. So time is of the essence. Because if she comes back and catches me in her shit, she's going to fuck me up. So I'm like, I have a thing of water and a thing of bleach.
You don't fuck with a
And
And a
net.
thing of blood and a thing of heroin.
So I'm rushing to, I get the water cleared out, and then the bleach, I'm hurrying up and pushing it through, and then I intend to put the needle in the water to then put on the res. But I'm in such a hurry, I put the bleach on the res, and I cook it, and when it comes back, it has a yellow tint, just like heroin does anyways.
Bleach?
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I have a great shot here. Like, I'm gonna actually get high off this. And I put it in me, and I probably maybe like 5 cc's, so it's not much. It's like, and about 2 in, I feel like an internal inferno that is like, but I'm in such denial that it's not heroin. I still continue to put it in because
Ugh.
like I can't believe that.
Wow, dude.
And at the time I have warrants for my arrest. So although I realize I just shot up this bleach, I cannot call 911 because I'll go to jail. So I just sit in the corner and just dump water over my head over and over and
Because you're on
over.
fire.
Yeah.
So, man, so you're telling me that like that you can shoot up bleach and you're okay?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm here.
5 cc's.
5
5
cc's,
cc's. Wow.
So
Like,
it's about that much.
But it was probably, oh, wow, dude. Does any part of you want to be like, dude, I'm going to film a gnarly stunt. Hey, everybody, I'm Brandon Novak, and this is shooting up bleach.
Absolutely not.
He never wants to do it.
Does anybody
Never wants
you
to
want
do
to
that
do that
again.
thing? You're like,
Why?
'cause if you're not going to do it, I'll do it.
For the record, could I have that bit if you don't want it?
Yeah. Can I use that?
Do I have your blessing?
After you showed it, I did. It would not shock me at all, man. Fuck.
Dude,
Yeah.
you could like,
I watched.
because there was the joke that's like, you can get rid of COVID by like taking bleach.
Right.
If you get COVID,
that was
try
what Trump told
try
everybody.
it. Try
Yeah,
it.
Trump-
Injecting bleach. See what
Trump
happens.
put that
no
out
good.
there.
That's no
Yeah.
good.
Well, it didn't cure me of the fucking hepatitis I had, so I don't know why I would like do the bleach.
Okay.
It's sort of what's up with the hepatitis?
Well, they have pills now that gets rid of it.
So check this out. So I continue going. I go to a doctor. Right when there's a pill called Harvoni that had just hit the market. It was cleared by the FDA, but insurance companies like didn't know what to do with it. It was right in that weird window of time of like everyone just didn't know it was a cure for hepatitis C. Go to the doctor, and the doctor's assistant had read my book because Dream Seller had already been out.
This was the first book.
The first
but
book.
I got so mad at you.
Yeah, rightfully so. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
We're on the set of Jackass 3D, and he's all fucked up. But his book just came out, and I actually like gave it an effort to read the book, and in the book he describes like addiction, like the whole situation, like recovery, like what it's about, like what is it? He's just like, I was like, this fucking asshole has a complete understanding of like what the disease is, like what it's like, and he's describing like, but he's just loaded and wasted. I was just so fucking frustrated and offended by it because I was like a couple years sober at that time, and I'm like, dude, how do you write this book that like eloquently describes recovery and you just fucking are a
said that to
wasted
him?
piece of shit? Yeah.
And what'd you say? You remember that?
I don't even remember the conversation. I wasn't offended that much. I didn't lose sleep.
Damn.
But
So you
that's
were.
the thing. I was too smart for my own fucking good.
Yeah.
So anytime that
Yeah.
I found myself in a position where I could potentially save my life, I'd outthink myself out of it every time. I dumbed my way into sobriety this time. If you didn't know, I'm sober.
So you were shooting dope for like a decade at least.
Oh fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
long
I
were
mean,
you shooting
before,
dope
before
for?
Oxy became a deal,
Yeah,
right?
I went. Yeah, I did heroin first, and then backtracked to the pills.
Oh, really?
Because then, like, you know, I
you had
started
money.
ending up on like Jackass and Viva La Bam, and I got like some recognition, and I'd be like, Doc, man, like I'm fucked. I broke this, hurt that. Like, oh, no problem. You know, and I get the pills then.
What's a worse detox, Oxy or heroin?
They're both kind of one and the same. It wasn't, you know. It
Yeah,
was.
it's
It all
like what-
sucked.
It's like what gets you more stoned, hash or weed?
Yeah,
what-
total. Great analogy.
What about methadone? Did you
That's
get
the
it?
fucking
Methadone's
word.
the worst. Liquid
I was
handcuffs.
scared to do that. I tried to shoot that once.
What about
that
Suboxone?
backfired. Yeah, I do that in detox. I tried to shoot that once too. That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, dude, it's all bad news.
It
So
is.
you're talking about Viva La Bam and Jackass.
Yeah.
So, how much in contact are you with Bam these days?
Not much at all, which is
I
good.
reached out to him like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time I actually didn't hear back.
Which is
I
a
think
good
is a good
thing.
sign, yeah.
Right now, knowing where he's at and the position he's in, no news is good news. And I know that he was at a position in his journey with his recovery that he could have a phone briefly.
Yeah.
He kind of earned that.
I think he's allowed to have a phone right now, and he's just choosing to not use it, which is the best fucking sign.
I wish that was the case.
Oh, okay.
So
that would. You're right. It's like, fuck. There's a sign of hope here.
is he
Right.
out and about or is he in
No,
somewhere?
so he had the phone, and because he wasn't doing what should be done, they took the phone back from him.
Got it.
So
So
he's
that's
in a
why I didn't hear back from
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in a program, and the good thing is now is he's got he's under a conservatorship, you know, and
It's not a conservatorship; it's a guardianship.
oh really?
The conservatorship
Britney Spears.
has financial implications. With the conservatorship, they're in charge of all of your money and everything. A guardianship, they kind of leave your money out of it.
Yeah.
And the guardianship, they're just like kind of, there's rules you have to abide by, and he's like forced to be in.
How long do you have to be like that for?
I think that, I mean, I don't know that if we're really even allowed to talk about it too much, but as I understand it, it's like still happening.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
And the good thing is it's kind of doing for him what he can't do for himself.
Right. I agree. I agree very much. And you know, it like even bringing up Bam is just like a lightning rod of you know, like controversy and shit.
It
I
really
think that
is.
What
It's a shame.
What I want to say is that, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, is that I've always, not always, I used to always be so jealous of him. He was such a fucking, just ambitious, fucking, like, just talented, like, he was so good at making footage so funny and, like, just making great, amazing footage out of, like, nothing even happening. And I was like, man, for me to get footage, I gotta, like, do something huge, you know? Like, I couldn't just make footage out of nothing like that.
All you had to do was get a fucking dog. Fucking idiot.
That's right. I know. But, like, and I would always say, Bam's younger than me. He's richer than me. He's, like, he's better looking than me. He's more talented than me. Like, you know,
Sure.
like, and all of that was true. And I now, with everything going on, like, I wish that we could have the Bam back who I was always so jealous of. I would love to be jealous of him again. And I want that for him. I want him.
Isn't it crazy how the world works and kind of goes full circle? You know, how you would now give anything to have that guy back that at one point in time you were very jealous of. Isn't
Well,
that-
yeah, I mean,
I see what you're saying, but it's...
right. And when I say jealous, I think that that's just my natural default
Sure,
reaction
absolutely.
to being impressed by somebody. You know, like when I go to the circus, I'm fucking jealous as hell of the performers because I want to be that rad.
And that's why you are that rad. Dude, this is fucking Steve-O's Wild Ride tour here. Fucking, let's fucking come. And I'm sober. But no, I accredit him. He's my best friend in the world. If it wasn't for him, I'd be buried in that plot that my mother bought me in Baltimore. Like, he was the one that stopped what he was doing and reached out to me and said, yo, come to Westchester,
Right.
live with me, like, skate again.
And wasn't that like a super misguided exercise in enabling you in the big picture? And he brought you the enough fame and recognition for you to just keep staying sick.
But I don't believe that he could comprehend
Right, of course not.
what was going on.
Of course not. He
So,
thought he was helping you, but he was doing
knowing
more
what I know
harm.
now, yes, it was like a
Right.
terrible recipe for fucking disaster.
Right, and you were just
But-
this weird whipping boy for him.
But if you look at this, if you weigh out the scales of justice, it's that in that world, or like being homeless, shooting up bleach in Baltimore. So it's like,
Right. And then he had at his house like a garage that was just filled with like Bam skateboards and you would just go and
oh yeah,
pilfer that
yeah.
shit. You'd like when you're on Dead Tour, except that
It was shit wasn't mine. Kyle wasn't sending me those boards.
Yeah.
Right, and it wasn't Dead Tour. It was the crack house.
Yeah,
How much did you like crack?
I didn't. I was scared.
Oh wow.
I had enough common sense to be scared, because like people would offer me hits and I would take them far and few in between, but I could barely come up with $10 a day sometimes, let
Right.
alone like every 20 minutes. So
Right.
I knew I didn't need to like embark
That's how
on
I was
that.
with meth. Like I was like really weirded out by it, but I never turned it down.
How many
Now
times did
that's
you
a
meth?
fucking quote.
Yeah.
That's tattoo worthy.
How
many times do you think
I
you
did
did meth?
plenty. Like in the early days, like when I lived in Albuquerque in like 97,
Albuquerque's a place for that.
97, 98.
When
I
in
would,
Rome.
Like, and it was just like weird biker meth. It was like old school meth where if you snorted a line, it was like you snorted broken glass.
Yeah.
It was so gnarly. It was
Burns.
fucking hurt.
You want to cut your nose off. Before
like-
it was like the thing.
Yeah, right. And then there was a lot of smoking meth out of light bulbs and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I never really was too into it. I mean, I was always like sure, but. So yeah, what else? What other like fucking salacious shit do we want to ask? Okay,
I got some-
I've got one. Like, talk to me about like fucking like prostituting yourself for drugs. Is it true that you did like
Yeah.
crazy fucking like weird gay stuff and you're not gay?
I would let men blow me. I would never blow the men.
Okay.
Right? There was standards there. Yeah.
Is this in your book?
Yeah. It's how my first book starts. It's the very first chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're okay with just going hard in the paint on this one right here?
It's like a Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable asking that question.
Yeah.
Because Brandon's an open book.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
totally. If I'm not, I'll just not answer it.
Right.
But yeah, so it got to a point where, you said it tonight, with your Lux, you're in this amazing relationship, and she says, hey, we're in a relationship, but you say it better than I'll fuck this up, but intimate, you don't need to show your body to everybody.
Right.
And you're like, but everything's a million times funnier if I'm naked.
Right.
So for me, I had did so many things in addiction, right? Like the prostitution parts, to then like, my character on Viva La Bam was Nudie Novak, so it was just naked everywhere, and then like we were doing the Fuckface Unstoppable tour, which was Bam's band.
Yeah.
And I remember doing this interview in Australia, and the interviewer said, we hear that there's like some homosexual tendencies that take place on stage. Are you a homosexual? And I'm like, are you calling me gay? And I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you're calling me gay? And I push him down, and I pull his pants down, and like, bam, a couple people hold him down, and I pull his dick out, and I do 2 pumps just to prove that I wasn't gay. And I left the fucking interview,
Right.
So I did all this weird shit, and this is how I realized that I wasn't gay. And I love gay people. It's
because you did 2 pumps,
Yeah.
like of his dick in your mouth,
just to prove that
and
I
you
wasn't.
didn't enjoy it. You're like, sit right there.
No,
that wasn't my thing.
Well, here's where I realized it wasn't my thing. Later on down the road, I end up in this recovery house, and I want to like jerk off one day, and
Dude, that's a serious crime to like physically like push someone down, hold them down.
That's why I
Suck
stumbled
their
over that really fast. I was hoping you didn't.
Yeah.
I was like on the next, hoping
Right.
that.
What year was that?
Fuck, everything's kind of a blur during those years. Probably 2008.
Good. Statute of limitations.
Yeah, it was at least whatever it needs to be. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Great point.
But okay, so you let guys suck your dick, but you never sucked anyone else's dick unless they called you gay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But would you jerk guys off?
Nah, it was never like a thing. They
Right.
like that's not really what they were looking for. For some reason, that's a thing in that world.
You let guys suck your dick, but what if they wanted to eat your ass?
I used to live with this guy.
Would that be like more?
I would negotiate totally,
Yeah.
but I used to let a guy shave my asshole. He just wanted to shave it.
For how much?
Wow.
Like 20, 40 bucks. I lived with him. 20, 40 bucks, whatever he had.
You're like, fuck, man. Like
just shave it.
like
Cool.
Interesting.
how
They
much
have
did you have to
weird
grow
fetishes.
it out for him to pay you again?
I
6
wasn't
hours.
really a health and wellness kind of guy at that point, so when he was ready, I dropped trow. Like, it wasn't anything great going on. But so I ended up in this recovery house, and this is back when VCRs are in play. And
Right.
I want to jerk off, and there's these 2 guys, Brian and Donovan, who are like openly, flamboyantly gay guys, and they're amazing guys. But I'm looking all through the house for a porn, can't find one. And in Brian's room, he's not there. There's a porn in the VCR, and I press play, and it's a gay porn. And I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect time for me to answer the fucking inevitable question, am I gay? And I watched the porn with a complete open mind to see if I got a hard cock, and I didn't. So I think that kind of answered the question.
But did you try?
I wasn't opposed to it, like I was.
So she did try.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
you were
well,
You're open to it. You welcomed
I
it.
like held my dick, kind of like caressed it, danced with it a little bit.
All right.
Took it
Flipped
on a
it.
date.
It
So
didn't
you jacked
return.
off to gay porn.
Technically.
I mean, you gave
I
it the old
played
college
ball.
try. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did. But I mean, I also have, I have a guys come in me, but I've never been fucked. It's like kind of like that magic trick where you get on your back and you drink the thing with your feet.
Right,
but
right.
So me and Bam were like up doing blow for like 5 days straight, and after like day 3, delusional, paranoid
Sure.
shit gets weird. So 5 a.m., probably 4th or 5th day in, out of our minds, hadn't slept a minute. We're shooting a game of pool, and we have one of our tattoo artists there with us. I win the game of pool. We then go into the bedroom. I lay on the bed. Ben puts a pillow over my head. He pulls a laptop out and puts porn on and jerks off and comes onto my arm. and then we bring the tattoo artist in,
Jesus.
and he traces around it, and then without no ink on it, he then puts the cum into my arm. See that right there?
That's cum?
In me.
That's
but
a rope.
He's never fucked in me. You know what I mean?
Wow. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's an NBD right there.
Dude, they got blood brothers and then they got cum brothers.
Yeah. But the whole thing is just so wrong that it's kind of right.
Dude,
I won the game
I
of
like
It's
pool.
not even that wrong.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
won.
dude.
Fucking
I used
trying
to
shit out.
like bet people $100 if they could guess what it was, and then one time I was in the airport and the bartender, who was a pretty openly gay guy, I'm like, yo, if you can guess what this is, I'll give you $100. He goes, oh, honey, that's cum. I'm like, fuck. My one glass of wine I had to tip $100 on because I only had a card. I'm like, dude, that's it.
That's
That's so
hilarious.
funny, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's epic, man. Dude, I love that you're so candid and transparent, dude.
It's why not, man?
Right, dude. I fucking dig that. And to be clear, I really hope that I wasn't disrespectful in any other. It wasn't my intention to be.
Dude, I know that it would never be, right?
Right.
Like, I know you, and I know I know what your sobriety is like, and I know that you're way past that point of, like, trying to pull, like, out of left field thing.
Sure, I'm not out to make anybody feel bad. I'm not out to, like, you know,
I know that.
to harm anybody. But at the same time, I also, like, just don't know how to have a filter. And so if I'm curious about something, I'm just going to...
Dude, there was one
blurt it
point
out.
where I was switching sponsors. I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll ask Steve-O to be my sponsor.
Wow.
And my next thought was like, dude, he's way too sober. I'm, like, too nervous to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah?
Because I know how, like, transparent, how authentic, and how much you work this. And I don't know if I wanted to, like, level up that much.
I
Yeah,
don't think it's
know
a
that that
leveling
matters.
up. It's like you don't want your
Just
friends
check
to
it out.
sponsor.
Yeah, you don't want to have like a relationship. You know, that would be to tangle the wires a little bit.
Okay.
You know, I would say that.
I learned immensely from you. You know,
Well, right on,
I really pay close attention to what you do from a fucking distance.
There was a point, and we won't say what it was, but a point when you called me up for advice, like pretty recently.
Yeah.
And and you know, it impressed me and it helped me.
Really?
Like, yeah, you know that when people reach out for help, that you're actually helping the person who you reach out to.
A helps, B helps, A the
Right.
most kind of deal.
Yeah, and you know, and I was impressed, and it meant a lot to me to help you kind of navigate that situation that you found yourself in.
And it was heavy, and I wouldn't just call anybody. So,
Right.
like, to share something with you.
For sure.
So, for you to say, oh, I hope you didn't, I would never, you know what I mean? Like,
No, dude, like,
I
to
fucking
me it
know
was a
you.
no-brainer. It was-
Yeah.
to me it was
And
a no-brainer,
I agree.
and-
Who
yeah.
the fuck wants to listen to a really jaded, guarded podcast? Like, fuck it.
Right.
Let's, like, be transparent and talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So what?
Where can people get a hold of you?
Well,
You should put your number on the bottom of the
Like,
screen.
we're gonna need to
whole-
run that
the
on the
whole
bottom
time,
of this.
yeah.
a Chiron for the whole bit.
That'd be hilarious.
And like, how much of your livelihood is within the sort of parameters of recovery versus like other?
So when I
Yeah.
got sober and I kind of got into that world of part of it being a job, you know, I called my sponsor, who's a private therapist, and I said, Lex, what do you think about this? And he goes, well, what I'm going to tell you is, and he had at the time 13 years sober. He said, I'm going to tell you, most people in the industry that
The
are
industry
sober
of recovery?
recovery that work on the industry side don't stay sober.
Right.
Exactly what you said. He
Right.
said there's a fine line. There's work and then there's your sobriety. And the moment that line gets blurred, you'll drink again. And I like adhered to that. I paid a lot of attention because I really value my sobriety. And and so I know that they're just two worlds apart. You know what I mean? Like it's so I know, which means I'm to be held accountable.
Right.
So I'd say definitely 50-50. If I could, but who can gauge that?
Sure. So the stuff that you do, like help us out, like with the business of Brandon Novak. And by the way,
Novak's house.
Yeah.
Novak's house.
Yeah, which is I recreated what worked for me, right? Like you did, I went to treatment and then I lived in a sober house for a year because that's what my sponsor suggested that I do because he did it. And at the time he had 13 years, so I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. And I followed suit and that house kind of taught me legit like how to wash my clothes. For the first month that I was in there, I was washing my clothes with dishwashing detergent. Because I didn't know.
Memory lane.
And then guys, they're like, you can't wash your clothes with like dishwashing detergent. You need I was really disconnected from reality, and it taught me how to integrate or merge back into the world, like as a quote unquote normal human being, and I realized the impact that had on me and what it did for me. So as I continued to stay sober, that being in that house was like some of the best times of my life.
Sure.
Like I would go back and do it in a heartbeat.
Life was very simple when I was in sober living.
It was so amazing.
How long did you detox for?
My detox was like the eye roll. That's even worse than screaming at him.
He's like, not Wendy, a human.
Not Wendy.
My detox was like probably, I was on detox meds for a week, but I felt like shit for probably 2 or 3 at least.
Yikes.
I didn't sleep right for like a couple months.
I feel like a lot of people don't want to get sober because they don't want that. They don't want the detox and they're scared to detox.
That used to be my excuse in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I think I matured. I think a lot of things aligned. At all my attempts at recovery, these seeds were planted along the way. And then one day, like, it all just kind of aligned and this fucking skies parted and I walked across the fucking sea.
You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Are you pretty active with it? I've seen your shit pop up on there.
Yeah, I as much as I can be.
Do you do your own editing?
No.
Okay.
I have a team that helps.
Yeah, because, I mean, dude, creating content, man, that's a fucking major livelihood.
It is. So I don't really pay much attention to it at all, but I do okay. And I've decided to take the money that I make from that to just invest in weird shit like Bitcoin and fucking things.
Dude, are you into Bitcoin?
Not enough to like let it determine my day. But, just in case it does explode and I don't miss the boat.
Well, that just happened, kind of.
I know. I know. Thanks, pal. Yeah, I fucking am well aware.
Right.
But, I'd rather try and fail than never try and wonder what if. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. So I have so I recreated the house that I got sober in, and it's just a straight up sober house, and it's a men's house, and there's 12 guys in it, and it's not like insurance based. It's not really like treatment industry world shit. It's guys that come from the streets that like have no insurance or state insurance, and they have to come directly from treatment, which is what I was a product of, right? I didn't have like great insurance that allowed me to go to like a Beverly Hills place, and I have like people that have been generous enough to donate, financially to it, which then allows me to provide scholarships, and there's 12 guys in it, and unfortunately it's full, right? Because there's like a need for it. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish I couldn't like get.
Well, sure. I mean, there's also like lots of dogs in the street in Peru, and I could only take one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I did was it
kind of different.
It inspired. That's why you're an asset, dude. It created the fire in me to like want to get more and help more. So I acquired the house across the street. Last week it opened, and that's full, and now on my birthday, which is the 10th, I close on the 3rd house. So by the end of December I'll have 40 beds, and I provide scholarships for all the gentlemen that come after completing 30 days of treatment to then having 30 days of a free bed, so they don't have to worry about like, where am I going to get a job to pay the rent for, because when you get out of treatment, it's like, so I'm not doing anything. I'm just getting a lot of assistance and through a lot of different ways for people to help.
So is there like a 501c3 like nonprofit organization people can donate to?
I looked into that, and the problem with that was if I turned it into a 501c3, then I wouldn't own the properties. It was like and that's kind of, although it provides an amazing service for a financially reasonable cost, it's also very nice to own the homes at the end, and I don't want to not own the homes.
Right.
Yeah,
It's kind of like my 401k plan, if you will.
There's a B Corp where I think it's dual. It's 501 nonprofit and profit.
I think you can do some ancillary 501c3 that would just create money for the scholarships, which isn't tied to the or something.
I was just told about that like last night, actually. So it's something. I mean, I've been. We've just celebrated our first year.
Okay, good.
So I'm not. I'm learning as I go. But it's an amazing cause that it brings me the most joy.
How much is it to scholarship somebody for a month?
Well, it's $180 a week, so times 4. I don't even know what that math is.
720.
Yeah.
Can you
Cool,
put me
man.
down for a scholarship and one guy for the month?
Really?
Yeah, please.
That'd be amazing.
Totally.
So it's
All right, dude,
that's
I'm
really.
So
Dude, give me 2 guys.
2.
Really?
Give me
Yeah.
2.
Dude.
No, give me 2.
Yeah.
Hey, there's 4.
So
Dude.
we got
At one point,
He's not
I would
gonna
have
one-up.
jerked off to that.
He's not gonna one up me on this one.
No.
Dude.
Dude, if you want to, I don't want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That you know the coolest thing about that is not only does it help the
And
individual.
it's not a tax write-off because this is not a 501c3, so we might as well just give them cash.
I'll Venmo you.
Oh, I'll put
Or
you
we'll
in
figure
touch
it
with
out,
the
but yeah,
person. Yeah,
I'll
I don't
send it
really
over.
do the money thing, but the coolest thing about that is not only does the individual get the help, like the families get better too.
Totally.
Like the kids get better. It's such a snowball effect that goes so much further than people can really comprehend.
Yeah.
It's just so magical.
Cool,
That's
man.
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
I love it. Happy to do it.
Wow.
All right.
Thank
Is it-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
dude.
you. I mean that. Thank you.
Fuck
That's-
yeah,
that's-
dude.
really cool.
Is there anything that that you would like to promote other than that?
Just that I'm fucking sober.
I knew it, dude. I love
That's it, man. Fucking sober.
Dude.
Call me.
Oh my god, I love it, dude.
Dude, I
Thank
love you, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
love-
grateful that you're sober and
Yeah,
that
dude.
you continue to inspire. You getting sober like helped my mother not cry at night because it
Wow.
inspired me to like believe in me because I knew the last time we partied together, you held me hostage in a hotel room as you
Yeah.
did K and wouldn't let me leave, and I got scared. and I'm like, if that, same thing. If that
Right.
guy can do it, I can do it. And you inspired hope in me.
Well, dude,
So
I
thank
love
you,
dog.
man.
Thank you.
This was amazing, Scott. I love you.
Love
my
you
friend.
too,
This was a
dude.
juicy one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for providing the fucking YouTube video on how to shoot up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You save
bio. Link in description.
save somebody's life, dude.
Or killed somebody.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a shockingly candid podcast from a shockingly candid guest. And here we are, man. I'm not kidding about being on this bucket list tour and taking care of myself. Yeah. I pound liquid death, I pound liquid IV, and I be pounding my sandwiches from DoorDash. That's all there is to it. And I'm also truly grateful for you guys. And again, I want to say this. The number of people who have told me on this bucket list tour that they are members of the street team. It warms my heart, man. And I'm just stoked on everything going on in my life right now. And thank you for being a part of it. Fuck yeah. Woo! Hey everybody, and welcome to a helpful wild ride with Steve-O. Our guest this week, Zach Brown, is just so impressive, man. He helps people. He genuinely cares about being of service to others. And the guy just walks the walk, man. And like right out of the gate, I told him how much that means to me because I have a nephew with special needs. And the things that Zach Brown does to help people with special needs is off the charts amazing. And man, the guy is as big as it gets in the music world. What a huge star. What an honor to get him. And he invited us to his house. Of course, we worked it into my tour, so it was pretty crazy. I kind of rolled right out of bed into it. But man, just what a great experience. What a great guy. And speaking of helpful, man, I want to tell you guys how much my Whoop band helps me stay on track and on my goals for fitness. Like This thing is so epic. I wear it on my wrist. It's a fitness tracking device. And I've got this app. And I've got a community, my own group in the Whoop app. So everybody in my group will know that today I exceeded my optimal strain range. I overreached, which will help me get fitter over time. There's all my activities. Everybody in my Whoop group knows this because I share my analytics, and you can get an entire month's free with Whoop. Plus you get the hardware for free. It's the band that goes on your wrist, and there's a charger that's waterproof, just slides on top, so you never have to take it off. You can get that for free, the first month for free, if you sign up by going to join.whoop.com/Stevo. I really love it, man. Every single day I pay such a close attention to this, and I find it extremely helpful. So one more time, go to join.whoop.com/Stevo and get that free month trial period with the gear free. If you don't like it, send it back. No big deal. And now with that, let's get into a very helpful wild ride with Stevo. Is it controversial if I call you the king of country music?
That's up to you, brother.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you the king of country music, Zach Brown.
What's happening?
Chilling, man. We're here at a quite impressive property, Georgia,
Yes, sir.
Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And we've got you for about 45 minutes. What's going on in 45 minutes?
Man, I don't know. I'm here. I'm at your service, man. Whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, dude, I love it, man. I mean, I think what's most near and dear to me, I have a nephew who's got both autism and Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And he's 17 years old and still has never spoken a word. He's nonverbal. He's way far down the spectrum in both cases. And the fact of how much you do to help people with special needs is very big of a deal for me.
Right on.
You know?
Yeah.
I know that you that started when you were in high school. Is that right? You worked at a camp.
Yeah, so I was a camp kid. Went to a lot of camps when I was young, and then as soon as I could be a counselor, I started being a counselor, and then I went to college, and then I started working at staff, living full summers and where the neurodiverse camp that I worked at was Camp Glisson, which was in up North Georgia, like close to my hometown up there. That's what gave me the bug. It changed my life working with kids and people of all ages. So, you're responsible. You have 2 campers coming every week, and you're responsible for having them, shit showered and shaved and ready to go for the day. And then they're integrated with a group of, typical kids for the week. And it changes the way they look at those people or people that are different than them for the rest of their lives too. So it kind of dips you into something for a week. So that was why, I wanted to build a camp, that was just...
That's Camp Southern Ground.
Yes.
And when did that open up?
We've been going for about 11 years now.
Wow.
As far as when we started in the beginning, it takes forever to build the buildings and do them right. Like we're building it's like a university. I mean, it's right there. You guys can drive through and check it out on your way out today.
Man.
So it takes a lot of time, and then bringing the right people in, because I had like transformative life stuff happen to me, like in a moldy cabin with like mildew and, stuff in it. So it's really that can happen with just the people, the people that you have are what helps you have this transformation. But I wanted to build, it's been my life's purpose to build a place that's going to be here for like hundreds of years, like build it where it's going to last, where all the structure and everything's going to be there, and then build the right culture. So we bring in and inspire the best people. If you remember like having a teacher that was like, that just really gave a fuck, that was like they
Sure.
made you like love what they were teaching you, you know. And so that's our goal, is to like have the kind of people around that are so engaging, where the kids are just like opening up. And a lot of the kids that we serve, so in 1 week in one group, we have kids that are from underserved areas, we have kids from military families that had some kind of a tragedy happen with their family, and we have kids on the spectrum, and then you have mainstream kids who sometimes have like a poverty of spirit, where they don't really know how to appreciate what they have because they've been kind of spoiled their whole life.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about poverty of spirit, and man, that's just a sad, I suppose, reality where, you know, if in so many ways, so many things like character, your immune system, like everything's a muscle that needs to be worked.
Yeah.
And I've never heard anybody else use the term poverty of spirit. But yeah, man, that's crazy. How does and when you do use that term, like you're talking about overprivileged, spoiled kids.
Well, they just don't have any perspective. They don't know how to appreciate what they've had. Everything that they ever wanted. They come home, they play their Xbox or whatever that they do all day, and everything. They don't really know. It became an awareness to me when a friend of mine had a school in Africa, and they would show these kids in Africa, and they have literally sticks and rocks to play with, but they're singing and they're dancing and they're happy and they're full of joy. And you have kids here that have everything that anyone could ever imagine, and they're just depressed and just pissed off because they don't have any perspective on, you know. And so the goal of camp is to immerse them in a place where there's something different than they've ever been in, and they're around people who really care. And you see some of these kids, the first time they've ever, like, we teach a lot of kids to ride bikes, like the first time they've ever ridden a bike before. Wow. And kids on the spectrum as well. I mean, everyone that's over there, everybody learns something from each other, and you get this diversity that's just like forced on you. Like, you're forced to just get to know each other, get through the obstacles of the day and the week, and then from that point on, you look at those people differently for the rest of your life. It's a pretty powerful thing.
For sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like, because like you don't know what you don't know, so until you're exposed to like how different people even grow up. Like, I didn't even understand how I grew up till I went to college and met other people. And it's like, oh, that's how you grew up. Or like, I didn't even know what living in America meant until I left the country and saw other countries. It's like, okay, so that's what America is. Like, now I actually know what that even is, because you just you have no idea. You're like kind of living in a bubble.
Yeah. I grew up in 5 different countries. I was born in England, spoke my first words in Portuguese in Brazil, went to nursery school in Caracas, Venezuela, speaking Spanish, kindergarten in Connecticut, and then the first grade through half of 4th grade in Miami. And then I moved to England halfway through 4th grade, so I was only 9.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Canada. Then I went back to England all through high school. So when I graduated high school and went to the University of Miami, I had not lived in America since I'd been 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and I spoke with an American accent because I attended the American school in London.
Okay.
So like my teachers, my fellow students were mostly American speaking, but I just hadn't been in America for that whole time. And I remember going to the University of Miami straight out of high school, and I was so it was jarring. Like, I thought, oh my God, America is not a melting pot. It's a TV dinner. You know, like they've got just everything so separated, and I was just really it affected me, like the racism, like the aggression. You know, like that was just how I perceived it, because what I was used to was such a multicultural upbringing.
Right.
You know, like my best friend when I was a kid, you know, was a Muslim, and we'd be praying to Mecca together. You know, like there's just so much diversity that people are robbed of, I think, in America because they aren't introduced to other cultures a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that like what you talk about by introducing people to different walks of life, different, like more diversity and giving them experience with all these different types of people in different situations. It resonates so much with me.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've already had, hi, darling. You've had a lot of that diversity, and getting to play music and traveling. Like I've been in the wind since I was 17, so that travel was like the greatest school that I could have ever had, because I was around all different kinds of people,
right.
And you learn how to, and that's why we paid our dues grinding for 10 years before we even signed a record deal. So we were just hustling, playing 300 nights a year.
I know. I heard you talk about this, that before you signed a record deal, you were already selling out like 5,000 and 6,000 seat theaters.
Yeah, and we created our own business model where we go to a bar that didn't have live music and just say, look, we want to come play here every Tuesday.
Wow.
And we start doing that, and I'm like, so once it gets going, I just want the door. So we'd get going, and we'd have 300 people on a Tuesday in a Wild Wings or something that didn't have music. So if we'd have gone and tried to get gigs at places that have live music, for like $200, and we wouldn't have been able to afford to pay a guy or pay for gas to get to the next place. So we were blessed in that way. But what was beautiful about that is, sometimes the people swamping the bar at the end of the night are the only people that are there listening to you. So you learn how to appreciate every person.
What do you mean by swamping the bar?
The dude just literally like cleaning the floor.
Oh, okay.
Like at the end of the bar. So, I just went into Dixie Tavern in Atlanta where I used to play every week, like 2 nights a week for a decade almost, and the same guys are cooking in the kitchen, and you go back in the back and see him and like give him a hug and just like, but you learn how to appreciate people. I mean, because that might be the only people that are there listening to you that night. So I love that part of the journey. There are people now that get famous so fast and they become wealthy so fast, and they're just dicks. They're dicks because they don't know, they don't understand, but all the beautiful people you meet along the way, everybody's equal, everybody on your crew, if you're going to have a good culture, you have to lead that. You can't buy that. You have to so it's pretty amazing having the family of people that we have together on the road, and then just all the people that you meet, because that's really the currency, is the relationships that you have with people. I mean, it's great to have stuff, but at the end of the day, it's how you treat people that helps to line your road on where you're going. Somebody told me when I was having my first daughter, because it's terrifying, I was like, I'm responsible for this life.
Terrifying is the word.
Yeah. And so, and this lady told me, she said, honey, if you just teach them to be good people, then they'll be successful at whatever that they set out to do.
That is a theory that warms my heart. And no matter what it is that you set out to do, if you're going to be successful, there's a strong chance that Shopify is going to help. What's Shopify? It's the e-commerce ecosystem for businesses of all sizes. Even if you just want to have a website, the best way to make the most professional website with the most ease is Shopify. And no matter what kind of business you have, if it's online, Shopify is going to be your way, the gold standard for incorporating all the different kinds of e-commerce components. No matter what size your business, the way to get to the next level online is with Shopify. And you can try it for just $1 a month. This is a $1 per month trial period if you go to shopify.com/Stevo. But make sure that's all in lowercase letters. Shopify.com/Stevo to try the $1 per month trial period. Even if you just want to build a website, hey, go spend $1 and build a website. If you got a business, spend $1. Take it to the next level. The $1 per month trial period works for you right now at shopify.com/Stevo, all in lowercase letters. Jump on that and let's get back to it.
And that took a huge weight off of me, but it's true, because you learn how to treat people, and you learn how to be curious and how to ask for things, but how to give to people also. It's like things like that were instilled in me because of this grind that we had for so long. And I'm grateful for that. And also let us be ourselves. We got to figure out what we are.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of unapologetically, and I spend a lot of time working on the camp and the majority of the time being a dad. So I don't spend all the hours and trips and things like that smoozing lots of people like other artists do, you know, that don't have huge families and other commitments and things like that to be able to do. So, you know, if people wonder where I'm at or what I'm doing, it's like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, let's close that door. I just feel like the rain super. Yeah,
moon pie eating Bruce's food.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so sorry, brother. Thank you for that. Yeah, dude. When you go into a bar, what a brilliant business model. I want to kind of like understand that. Like you described that you know, bar restaurants are just not doing business during the week. They've got Friday and Saturday.
They lose their ass Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
I own bars, so I know. And it's like, if you got something that generates and brings in 200 or 300 people on a Tuesday or Wednesday, that's your profit.
For
Because
sure.
your Friday, Saturday, like, make you break even from losing money through the week.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and you. So at that time, and what year is it when you're going into a bar, and how are you? I guess you're picking a bar that's just going off on a Friday and Saturday and saying, hey, let's make this.
Not necessarily. Somewhere where we could go in and it's like, oh, this place can hold, you know, 250 people, and they don't have any music, they don't have anything going, and so you kind of got to go talk to the manager, the owner, and just be like, hey, you know, you got to sell yourself on it. That's
Yeah.
how we started. We did that down in Panama City Beach, Florida. We left, and I sold my life insurance policy to buy like an old 70s Dodge van.
Yeah,
And
the
that, like,
bubble van,
Yeah, exactly. The bubble windows.
the bubble windows,
Orange shag. Yeah.
Is that-
Good Times van is what it was called.
Is that like the Scooby Doo?
It is kind
The
of.
mystery mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's great, man. And did you what year was that?
Let's see, 98.
Wow.
So yeah, 98. We drove down to Panama City, and we were like, we just made our first record. It was 5 songs. I met some dude at Guitar Center that had a studio in his garage, and we bought that Good Times van, made that album, had a bunch of copies of the CDs in the truck with us, my dog, my Jack Russell, and then my drummer. So it was just 2 of us. And so
Wow.
we drove down to Panama City, and we were plugging in. We were playing at this daiquiri shack. It was like a trailer that sold daiquiris out of it. He had an extension cord to let us plug in, and we'd sit out and play. We did that for 5 or 6 nights. Ended up finding a gig down there, playing 6 nights a week, 6 hours a night for $150 a night.
Wow.
And then tip money and stuff. And then it took us, you know, a month or so of doing that. And then we ended up meeting a guy that had a brand new condo down there. Didn't have any furniture in it, but we were, you know, we were balling in our eyes. It was pretty
dude.
nice.
Yeah, I feel like it's so funny in those times. You're like, man, you're probably saying like, man, if we could just pay our rent with this, like, we'll be good. You know, it's like the goal
Yeah.
is like so small at that point, and it just grows and grows from there. And
Yeah.
it feels like that's kind of like you just continue to just level up like pretty consistently over those.
Well, yeah, but it's even crazier than that though, because for you to record that 5-album or that 5-song album, like didn't you have to borrow
I did.
$6,000 from a
I
buddy?
did. Yeah. And he was an alumni of my fraternity that I was in at college.
So
And, and now he's retired. He's a radiation oncologist, and now he's retired, and he works with us. He travels with us and is our like road doctor and crew guy. So
Wow.
the guy that loaned me the first money to make my first record, his name's Richie Bland, but we call him Doc. So Doc's like part of our crew now, and it's pretty awesome, man. The people that bet on you and that help to
dude.
like help you to succeed early on, you kind of want to be, come here, come down here, yeah, come here.
Yeah. So at that time, you borrow $6,000 to record this album, and can you even call it an album at that point? Isn't it more of a demo?
It is, and I go back and listen to it. It's pretty funny because I was in choir from like first grade through, so I was singing like more like opera choir style on this album, like trying to write folk music. But I never had a class in school ever that encouraged me to be creative. Everything was like copy what everybody else does, you know,
Yeah,
like
wow.
learning this. So there was never anything like how to write a song, how to like, you know, create your own stories or things like that. So you do that kind of out of necessity. Your first songs are like about your first girlfriend you break up with, and you don't have any precedent, so you think you're going to die. And then your first band breaks up and you think you're going to die. It's like, you know, you don't know that it's going to be okay and that there's other things down the road at that time when you're young. So
That's interesting. You say you don't have any precedent, so you think you're gonna die. But like,
like your first heartbreak, you think about like the first
Oh, right,
heartbreak you
okay.
ever had. And so then you start writing about that. That's what I did anyway.
Yeah.
And then I realized later, like you can write when you're feeling good about stuff too, you know, and that's still a lot of my life is chasing a song, man. It's like trying to
For
find
sure.
something that you want to sing about and that you want to, and then trying to make every line in it solid, you know, not just throw in shit that rhymes. But that's still a lot of my life is, you know, figuring out the poetry of a song and like trying to make somebody feel something that you feel.
yeah, of course. So it's a demo, and you record that. Then you've got that. You press 1,000 CDs.
Yeah, so we had all these boxes of CDs in the van. We tore all the orange shag carpet out and the bench seats out of the van, put gymnasium flooring in it, and my drummer's dad redid the brakes on it because it was a V8 and probably 6 out of those 8 cylinders were firing. The others
Maybe
were
4.
just dumping gas into the cabin with you. So when you're riding around,
Wow.
so you know, it got I don't know 8 miles to the gallon or something like that. It was pretty bad. But we were all loaded up, man. Drum kit, guitar, and then my brother had loaned me some money to buy some speakers. And just playing around college when I was at West Georgia, I 6 months later I came back and paid him back for all the, you know, speakers and stuff that he loaned me money for. And he's like, I never expected you to pay me back. So he took me to Guitar Center and was like, you pick out any guitar that you want.
Wow.
So I picked
That's your
out-
brother?
That's my brother-in-law, David. Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's been like a dad to me since I was young. And then he later co-signed with me to get a truck and a trailer and everything so we could travel. And for 7 years, I slept against the window of a truck and we'd drive playing 6 nights a week, you know, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. And, you know, just grinding, man. And I loved it. It was exciting. I didn't know where we were going. I know what we were doing, but we weren't giving up. We were just keeping going. But man, it's time on tools. So like all the hours you spend doing, you know,
Sure.
playing 6 hours a night, you know, you get better. You know?
Yeah. What do they say to be good at something? You have to spend 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've probably done like, I don't know, 5,500 shows, 6,000 shows or something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Did the $6,000 that you borrowed cover the recording, the studio time with the Guitar Center guy, as well as the 1,000 CDs?
Yeah. So that was kind of all in to having the CDs. And they were slinging CDs for, you know, $5 a piece. And then tip jars, you know, down in Panama City, they throw fucking soggy dollars or drugs or whatever into the tip jar.
Yeah. What was the cover art on the CD?
It was half my face and half his face. We were called Far From Einstein.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his face being your drummer.
Yeah. It was just the two of us. We just played for 6 years. It was just the two of
So
us.
you and a guitar, and he's drumming.
Yeah.
When did the violin guy come into the picture?
That was a little later on. After 6 years, he decided he wanted to do something else, and he kind of quit. So I was still had house gigs around Atlanta. So I was meeting people in Atlanta. And the first guy I did my second CD with in the band was John Hopkins, who's been like huge voice, big, you know, he's the big guy in the band. He a couple years ago was diagnosed with ALS. And so
yeah.
he's now his speech has slowed down a lot. He's still singing great, but Hop was like one of the best singers, like especially harmony singers that I've ever heard ever. And he had a studio in Atlanta, so we were going, and I was working on the studio, like piecemealing it. I was like hustling, trying to get it done. I was selling unfinished mixes of the songs to make money to finish paying for the record. So, and I hired a dude. I met a dude down on Cumberland Island in Georgia and hired him to live in my house. And all day long, this is back before you had like multi-CD burner stuff. So he was one CD at a time, put in the computer, burning a CD, writing my phone number on it and my name on it. And so I'd take a stack of those, and that's how I like helped to pay for the rest of that album. But so I was playing at Dixie Tavern, and I realized that my bass player at the time was selling blow. And because all these guys kept coming up going, hey man, let me holler at your boy. And I'm like, why do you need to holler at him or whatever? And found out, and he could play super fast, and he was always kind of like whatever. He's like, so I found out he was doing that, and I was like, okay, I gotta let him go. And then I went to the studio and was working with John, and John was like, well, I could play a little bass, I can sit in, so in February he'll have been sitting in for 20 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The trip to Panama City, at that point you said that you sold and your dad gave you an insurance policy and you sold it for $12,000.
$1,200, yeah.
Wow, $1,200. Okay, how do you sell an insurance policy that somebody?
Well, it's whatever type of life insurance that was, like you can either let that grow and keep it going, or it has a value, like how much you've invested in it, you can sell it. So
when you sell a life insurance policy, is that like renaming the beneficiary? So
we're just cashing it in.
Yeah, you're just cashing out like early, basically.
Yeah.
So you have no more life insurance policy. You basically
you just
signed your
sold
life
it.
away.
I just sold it. So my dad had put this thing up, and I told him that I needed some money to get a vehicle or whatever, and he's like, well, I got this life insurance policy or whatever. So gave me $1,200. I went to the used car lot in Carrollton, bought the Good Times van. I still have it.
I am a big fan of investing in RVs. It's always worked well for me. But I think I'm a bigger fan of investing in mental health. And that's why I'm glad that this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. It's the biggest online matchmaker for people and therapists. It doesn't involve going to a therapist's office. You don't even have to leave the house. You can do it from the comfort of your own home online. Very easy, very simple, and a very good way to find peace of mind, tranquility, and serenity this holiday season. Plus, if you go to betterhelp.com/Stevo, that's betterhelp.com/Stevo, then you get 10% off your first month. You can't go wrong. And therapy really is the way to just get comfortable with what's going on in your life. I'm a huge fan of investing in mental health through betterhelp.com/Stevo. So jump on that, betterhelp.com/Stevo for 10% off your first month. And here's to a more comfortable, happier, healthier you in the new year. Now let's get back to it. So the Good Times van was $1,200.
$1,200.
God,
and
that
it ran like shit, and the brakes were shot. But it was a big deal for us at the time, man.
Sure.
What was like the vision then, or was there one, or was it like let's just play music? Like,
well,
was
we were
there
gonna
like,
take our new CD and go. We were gonna be big like the next year. We were like, we're gonna go whatever.
You're like any minute
And
now
then
we're just gonna pop.
and then 10 years later, it took 10 years.
Sure.
Yeah, Far From Einstein.
Yeah.
Were there any other names for acts in between Far From Einstein and the Zach Brown Band?
No, and the reason that we had to call it Zach Brown Band at the time was because this was back when MySpace was happening. And so on MySpace, there was another guy named Zach Brown, spelled the same way as Miziac, the way mine was. So to have like a different profile, we had to call it Zach Brown Band. And that's just what stuck. But no, we never had any other band names. The first band was Far From Einstein, and it was like 5 or 6 of us, and that band broke up, and that was devastating because I thought that was going to be the thing.
I think it's a great name
And
for
it
a
ended up
band,
just
dude.
being me and the drummer. It's spelled E-I. That's it right there.
Okay.
Einstein. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Me on the left
fantastic.
there.
And you played in Panama City at Club La Vila.
We played there later on, but we played at this club called Joey's.
Okay.
And it was just like a restaurant with like a piercing shop and a tattoo shop and a t-shirt shop. And
Dude, Panama
it was
City.
I'm pretty sure it was Israeli mob guys. They were all like Lexuses and hair slicked back and like, Chanel, but they were really good to us. And, we played the first 10 nights in a row. We did 6 hours a night. It was $150 a night. And it's from 8 till 2 in the morning. And we played outside on a deck and sweating our balls off.
Damn.
And Panama City is like that. when you said the bar restaurant model that Friday and Saturday pays for breaking even over the week, isn't with Panama City like they lose money all year long and then spring break is what?
Yeah, summertime and spring break is slamming, and it's changed now. It's all high rise and crazy. But back then it was pretty loose, man. The Majestic Hotel was right down the road from where we were. It was like,
I wonder what's the hotel that they've got the captain's quarters.
Oh yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
They put you up in the captain's quarters.
Yep. We've been there. After doing the daiquiri shack for a while, there were these ladies swimming out in the ocean. Me and my drummer were camped out on the back of this porch that was wrecked by a hurricane. So we were right on the beach, and then the Sunglow Motel was across the street, and we'd go use their pool shower to take a cold shower.
Amazing.
With my dog, but we slept on the back of this porch for the first couple weeks we were there, and just out of the van. And we ended up, these ladies were swimming out in the ocean. I went and started talking to them, and they were like, well, our mom lives right down here, and had this huge house on Roberts Drive, like down from La Villa. And they had a garage with a bedroom and a bathroom in it. So me and my drummer slept in that same bed for like 3 months, just two of us, but we had a nice place right on the water. It was Muriel and JB Ellis were their names, and they would like go out into town. They were in their 70s, late 70s, and they were out shag dancing every night and drinking. Every cabinet in the house was full of liquor, like 80 bottles of McCormick vodka in one cabinet. And so their house was just like a commune, like people coming and going and drinking or whatever, and we're sleeping out in the garage. And so we had a way better place there, and then it later on ended up getting a condo that was in town. But it's been a blessed journey, man. I wouldn't want to have to make all those things. I'm sure as your life is unfolding, all the shit you've done, it's like you don't know how it all worked out, but it did, and you're glad you don't have to navigate it all again.
There was I think it was a cartoon, Mr. Magoo. And it was this guy. He had these like Coke bottle glasses or something, or no glasses. You just couldn't see. And he, like at the beginning of the show, it was like he's walking by, and like every step he takes is certain doom. Like he steps off a building, but then like a construction beam comes to meet his foot. And he doesn't. He doesn't even realize that he's, every step is certain death, and he just barely had, I've always felt like that was.
I can relate to that too.
Kind of my deal. And I relate to, like, you were talking about the one CD burner. I was even before that with my stunts recording onto video cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And I had one VCR video cassette recorder where I would hit play and I'd just record like the good stunt, the good trick where I made it. And then that was my editing. It was a series of play, record, play, record, play, record. And then once I had the tape, the edit, then I'd put that in the first VCR and play the whole thing edited, but wire an audio cable from a stereo to lay music over it while I'm duplicating it.
Yeah.
And it was just like an assembly line, just duplicate tapes, and I just have a pile of video cassette tapes, and then I'd write my phone number on there. It would say Steveo, stunts and party tricks, and then I would like walk to the post office with video cassette tapes and put them in envelopes and mail them to like whoever I thought might watch them.
Yeah.
At the time it was like skateboard industry stuff, you know, and I had this feeling, man, I didn't think I would become successful, like make money. I thought I was going to die just having miserably failed. And what kept me going was the idea that after my inevitable early death, that those videotapes, man, someone's gonna watch them, and I'm gonna still be alive. It was like that was my immortality, man. There's a lot that I relate to, and I've heard you talk about persistence. Persistence being the most important thing. I would say that equally important, maybe to me more important, enthusiasm.
That's what drives you. You gotta have something that makes you want to hustle and makes you want to go. But I've worked with a lot of people. I when we started going, even before we when we first took off and had our first couple #1 songs, I was like, I'm gonna have a record label. I'm gonna help other people to do this and do whatever. And it doesn't matter how talented someone is, if they don't have determination and grit and enthusiasm and persistence, they're not gonna make it. Talent comes pretty cheap. It's the people that are tough enough to just keep. But like you were making all this shit, putting it out into the world. You were manifesting where you were headed and where you were going. But that hustle is rare. Hustle is way more rare than talent.
Yeah, I've heard you say that you find talented people everywhere.
Yeah,
you know, they're not particularly rare. And yeah, dude, just to be a persistent son of a bitch, man. That's one thing.
And not let anybody tell you where you're going. It's like, because a lot of people that want to tell you can't do something, they hadn't done shit.
Sure.
Right? They're the ones that are the critics. The ones
they're the ones that are bashing your album.
Exactly, they are every time. Every time.
Was there one particularly scathing review of an album that? Because I heard you talk about that too.
Yeah, I mean, almost every time that Rolling Stone would come out and something or whatever, it was kind of like some underhanded little kitsch comment from some dude with a failed band that wants to just come out and and then so over time, I was just like, fuck them. Like I'm just not. We know you have to know your own value, right? And you have to be in an environment where you feel your value or you create it. And so over the years, I remember Sidelines, one of the places we played, when we left there, we played there every Wednesday for a few years, and we made this dude so much money. And when it was time for us to leave and like graduate and go to the next things, I saved the video or the audio message the guy left me. And the last thing he said was, "After all I've done for you, and you're leaving now, I hope you fail." That was the last message, and I saved it, and I'm like, that's okay.
And Sidelines is one of the spots that you said, I just want the door.
Yeah.
I'll play on a Tuesday.
We had 300 people there every Wednesday. It was in Kennesaw,
Dude, that's fantastic, man. Yeah. And speaking of that too, this is so crazy, man. Like the guy who hasn't done anything, who's super critical and gives the scathing review. Like in the news right now, this the guy who shot the United Healthcare CEO. Yesterday, my phone is blowing up with messages saying, "Dude, this shooter guy read your books." Right? Like over there, I'm like, wait, what? And sure enough, there's like, it's in the news that this guy read not one, but 2 Steve-O books. Left a review on my most recent Steve-O book. It's called A Hard Kick in the Nuts. And this would be great. I'm getting ready to call TMZ and be like, hey, whatever. And then I read the review. And the bastard like was bagging on my second book, saying that it wasn't very engaging. I'm like, dude, everybody's hitting me up. So they're like, hey, did you see this guy reviewed your book? And I'm writing back, yeah, it would be great if the review itself wasn't a hard kick in the nuts. I want to shoot that guy.
Yeah, but you could go out and say, like, look, if you're not a murderer, you might enjoy the book.
Right. I mean, it's so funny, dude. It's like, here, the only thing that the guy likes less than my last book is his health care.
Yeah, maybe you were next on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like what Happy Gilmore, where the guy's like crossing people off his list.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was picturing too.
But it really, I mean, I only bring that up because it just goes to show, like, here by definition, you've got like disgruntled, and like this guy, like his answer is, you're unhappy about something, go shoot the guy, like you're negative, you're critical, you're disgruntled, and no wonder he wrote a crappy review, because that book, I know its value.
Exactly.
There's something about value that can go up and it can go down. And when I take a Blue Chew tablet, the value of my performance in the bedroom, it goes up. And I'll just come out and say it. I'm at an age where I'm pretty happy to accept the help from Blue Chew tablets. They help me perform better in the bedroom. They help me get hard as a rock. They help me have a really good time. So maybe you've been thinking, it's probably time for me to try Blue Chew tablets. I think you're right. And you can get an entire month's supply totally for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping if you go to bluechew.com and use the promo code Stevo. This could be your entry to a higher value performance in the bedroom, to having more fun with your boner. I mean, let's do this. Go to bluechew.com and use the promo code Stevo to get an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. So jump on that and let's ride this baby home.
Yeah.
I know that book is awesome.
Well, it's all a test, right? So you're going through life, you have something you believe in, and there's 100 people that are just like, that's total shit. And back then, it kind of was, but if you're working on it and getting better over time, then like you kind of know where you're going. But you have to have an identity. You have to have a resilience about you to be able to succeed, because you have to be willing to fail. And that's
For
why
sure.
I've got Teddy Roosevelt tattooed on my arm right there.
Yeah.
And that's the man in the arena. That's the speech. And I go back to that and I read that speech that he wrote whenever some failed band writer slams my album, you know. Just as a reminder, like you're not doing shit if you're not failing, you know. I mean, I've watched you fail a lot of times on camera.
Right.
That's like been a lot of my, you know, youth growing up watching you, and so it's pretty awesome to get to visit and see. But you share that same hustle, and like enthusiasm is a good word for it too.
Dude, you know that when you break down the word enthusiasm to its roots in like Latin or whatever it comes from, it breaks down to en theos, which means with God.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like the implicit message is that when you're really passionate about something, when you're pursuing your passion, that you're like most connected with God, like doing God's work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I felt that. You know, I'm not a religious person. I grew up in super religious environments, but I'm a spiritual person. And I'm glad that I did, because I kind of come around to your own faith and your own belief. And for me, it's like when you get into specifics and telling people if you don't specifically do this or that, you're going whatever, fuck all that. Because it's really about love and how well that we
For sure.
take care of each other. And I mean, and when you get into those specifics, you're getting away from God. You're getting away from the love and the acceptance of what it is, you know.
What a wonderful way that you put that. I would take a much more, I don't know, like negative stance, I think. Like, you know, going back to my buddy, I've known this guy since I was 9 years old, Abdullah. The guy's Muslim families from Sudan. We used to pray to Mecca together, like lived in this super like diverse, you know, upbringing. And I'm still in touch with Abdullah, you know, today. I mean, he's the one person who I've known for the longest, since we were 9, now we're 50.
Yeah.
And, you know, we graduated from high school together in England. He went to Brown University 4.0, went to like Cornell Medical School, you know, then became a pediatric surgeon at the Mayo Clinic, where he literally invented ways of operating on unborn babies in the womb before they're born, and saving lives of these unborn babies. Like he could not be a more wonderful person. And when anybody suggests to me that my dear friend Abdullah is going to go to hell because of the particular thing, the little box that he doesn't check. My position is that if heaven's all it's cracked up to be, hey, I'd love to check it out, but I'm not going without everybody who I love. And you know, based on the beliefs of these particular things that you're talking about, like, you know what, like, looks like I'm going to hell because I can't check that box, because the only way that I'm going is with everybody.
Well,
you know?
there's different ways to think about it, and if you think about it as it being here on Earth, then your reality, whatever it is, if you believe that it's the end of the world and everything's falling apart or whatever, that becomes your reality. And if you believe that there's an awakening and that there's goodness and there's love and like in your tribe, and that's why when you're dialed into like all the news and all the manipulation and everything, you're like sipping on poison every day. So I don't listen to any of that shit. I just, if something's going on, somebody will tell me, you know, like, oh, they found the guy yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm not receiving all of this stuff because we're tribal people. Like we weren't supposed to hear voices beyond earshot. Like if someone wasn't like on the hill where you could hear them yelling, like you're not really supposed to hear them. So our physiology is like 200,000 years old. We're still the same, like physically that we were then. And now we're dealing with all of this technology and all the opinions and all the stuff. And a lot of times the people that have the microphone and the opinion are the people that you would never want to fucking hang out with in the first place. So it's like, it's an interesting thing that we're having to like deal with right now. It's weird. The internet just fucking, I know. It's a crazy thing.
And like our brains just can't even process all this. Like we're taking on a day, we're taking in more information than like 200,000 years ago you got in multiple generations of lives.
Exactly.
And so like our brains are just, and
if you just like look outside in your neighborhood and go outside and like, if you're not paying attention to that and feeding into it, then it's a good life. So whatever you believe in, it becomes your reality. Like whatever.
Yeah. You know, there's something interesting you said early on in the conversation about the kids in Africa having, sticks and rocks to play with. You said about becoming a parent, having this responsibility, and it's terrifying. I was talking with Abdullah. We were playing a game of pool, and it was like, I don't know, a little over 10 years ago now. And I said, Abdullah, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. Like the opportunity in the world is dwindling. The American dream's dying. It's like I don't want to create a person who's going to struggle. And Abdullah looked at me and said, do you think in Africa, with all of the poverty, the famine, the disease, that people are any less happy? And my initial reaction,
more happy. It's crazy.
Yeah, my initial reaction is to think, well, yeah. He says no, and what it is it's the capacity to love. You can take from somebody all of their resources. You can take all their money. You can even take their health. But you cannot strip a person of their capacity to love another.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's from that which happiness is derived.
Well, and all those other things distract from it.
Yeah.
Like all the resource, all the things you have to take care of. They say the more you own, the closer you are to Rome, which means the more you are a slave to the shit that you own.
Yeah.
And then you're distracted from the connection and the love and the things like that.
It's like the more money you earn, it doesn't fulfill anything. It actually creates a vacuum, I've heard.
It does. And it's a tool, you can't be a slave to that either. Like I've gotten by on a piece of toast and ramen noodles and natural light, and I know what that's like, and I was happy.
Yeah, but and when you were eating that, then you got the case of Doritos.
That's right. Yeah, the case of Doritos was like a major score.
A major upgrade.
Yeah, it was.
Now, and all the work paid off. The $6,000 that your frat brother guy let you borrow, he got paid back from the restaurant money?
I paid him back 6 months later on the dot. I showed up with $1,600 bills, paid him back. He later gave me money to make another album. Took me a little longer to pay him back for that one. But just when
this was from the restaurant model?
Yeah. And when you see the difference it makes when you just tell a young person, hey, you're really good at that. You should keep going. You should keep going. Like just one comment can like change the trajectory of somebody's life. And then somebody that's like, but you have to be willing to ask for help. You have to be willing. I had to be willing to ask him to help me pay for the CD and to pay for the speakers and to pay for things to get going. But I spend the rest of my life now taking care of him, and so it's, we take care of each other. I mean, he still provides amazing service for us on the road, but
this is the doctor guy.
Yeah. Doc. And so, but people that believe in you early on and people just putting good out into the world, man, I think that's really what it's about, because when you boil it all down, like real joy comes from helping other people. It doesn't come from serving yourself and having a bunch of shit and living in a big fancy house and whatever. You're just there alone and just a rich dick, right? So the more you can give and the more you realize, like, it's an unnatural act for us as humans to be a servant to other people. Like you literally have to put the effort into doing that. But the more you do that, the better your life becomes.
Yeah, man. My understanding of it is the the human experience, this whole like physical realm, it's an illusion.
Yeah.
And the separation between us is an illusion. And when we die, we realize, oh my God, that wasn't it, and we're all one thing. And like I'm super into videos of people describing near-death experiences where they actually die and they have their life review, and they feel like in their life review you experience everything that you made other people feel. You experience it as those people.
Yeah.
Like so when you were a dick to somebody, like you're gonna feel what you made, and when you did spread joy, and when you did you know, like make somebody, you're gonna feel that joy. And man, like I think about that a lot, and I really want to like be deliberate and be careful about how I interact with people, like selfishly, so that I can like kind of over like you know, like balance the scales of all the bad feelings.
Well, that's
you
a
know?
great motivator too, and you know that's another thing for religion too. I think if the overall impact of it makes people want to be better, want to have community, want to treat people better, and all of that, then great.
Exactly.
You know, I support whatever that is, whatever builds that like community and connection with people and things like that. But as you get to be older and you travel a lot and you're around a lot of things, there's wisdom in a lot of different religions. There's wisdom in a lot of different things. And the ones that tell you have to isolate, you're not allowed to learn anything else, like this, no, this is it. You can't, whatever. It's like, I kind of call horse shit on that, you know, but you know, and I'm not saying it's a wrong for anyone else to do that, whatever people feel convicted by and being able to do it, just for me personally. And I tell my kids that, like, you have to figure out what you believe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you this is how to believe, how to do things. Like, you know, and you know, they grew up in a more Christian, their mom's very Christian, and I grew up that way as well. And I think that a lot of the good things that instills is something that you can take with you and being able to do it. And over time, you kind of look behind the curtain and you're like, wait a minute, some of those people are super, you know, they're kind of fucked up too, you know, and in the name of being righteous and self-righteous and things like that, sometimes that's a big turnoff. But I'm grateful, and it gave me my path to having faith. So I'm grateful for that.
I think all the major religions, they're so similar, man. They're saying the same things.
Yeah.
And I would go so far as to suggest that the differences between all of these major religions are like attributed to human error. You know, when you've got thousands of years or all these centuries of you know, number one, the original scripts written in Aramaic and like all that, you know, like a lot.
They've been bastardized.
Yeah, a lot got lost in translation.
Centuries. Well, they manipulated. They intentionally. It was governance.
For sure.
It was
for
governance.
sure.
Because all it took was one guy at one time to just be like, let's
the king,
take that
let's
out. And
The
it's like
Nicene
forever
Council.
now.
Like,
And let's take all these books out because this talks about other stuff that like the rest of the life, you know, I don't know.
I'm with that,
But if
man.
Jesus married Mary Magdalene and had a bunch of kids and stuff, they say there's books in gospel that tells that story. Well, they don't want people knowing that because then that instills more of the humanity side of someone that was so. But
fear is so much more profitable. Fear.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's either, you know, it either boils down to two things. It's either love or it's fear. There's
Big
two
time.
two things.
Big
and
time.
So,
man, I love that, dude. I love that so much. But before we let you go, man, I'm dying to ask you about life today. Now that you're like, you know, it's just, and thank you for inviting me to your show. It was I think you were playing the Staples Center, which is now the Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah.
And, you know, I got the invite like, hey, Zach wants you to come to his show at the arena. I was like, like for some reason I couldn't make it, but I was like, man, what a cool bro.
Yeah.
Really
well,
appreciate
I'd love to have
that.
you guys, man. We'll be touring in the spring. And
dude, I love it.
However we can.
Sick.
Would love to have y'all see what we do because our band's like really hard to understand. I mean, same thing with like if somebody describes Jackass to you, you kind of need to watch it to kind of understand the level of what it is. And so
it occurs to me that at the intro of I said the king of country music, but now I'm like, you know, like your whole purpose is almost to defy genres. So why did I try to jam you into that box out of the gate?
That's all right. I appreciate it. I we just individuals. You have to fight really hard to keep your individuality. Because I had record deal offers early on when I was playing bars. They were coming. They're like, "Okay, we're gonna get you a boot, some boots."
And they tried to give you a cowboy hat.
And I was like, "That ain't me, dude." So I'm from Atlanta. I'm not a cowboy, so I don't want to act like one. I just want to be able to be myself, and it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. It takes, and that's one thing working at camp and going to camp. Like, if you go to a public school and you get up and start singing or something in front of kids, they're just going to slay you, dude. They're going to murder you. And so, but if you do it in an environment like a camp where the first time you get to be silly and goofy and like do a skit or do whatever, you're like celebrated in doing it. Like that creates this like celebration of your individuality, like where you get to show who you are and whatever.
Right.
And I think camp was responsible for me just being courageous enough to just be able to be myself. And then over time, you build up enough fans where no one can take that away from you. Like I've played in a room with all of those people over, 20 years and earned those people. So that's really the only people that I owe something to are the fans. I don't owe it to the institution, to the machine that creates other artists, to the machine that does other things.
But one thing I'm super fascinated by is it before every single show that you have a formal rehearsal on your tour bus for an entire hour?
Yeah. So I do my vocal warm-ups for 30 minutes and then I rehearse with the band for an hour and then we play a 3-hour show.
Wow.
And that happens every day that we're on the road when we're doing our normal
And
shows.
it happens on the bus.
Yeah. A whole band comes on my bus. We all sing. We talk about the clams from the night before or how everybody fucked up or whoever did and figure out our set list.
What do you mean the clams? From the
Clams when somebody fucks up.
Okay.
And you can hear it. And James Brown used to do it. If you watch a James Brown concert and he says, "Gotcha," he caught one of his band members making a mistake and he docks him $50.
Wow.
So he was a perfectionist. Like James Brown was absolutely, and he could tell when his band was like one dude was out of line. And if you heard him say "gotcha" in a show, that's $50 off one of the band's paychecks.
Yeah, dude, I love it, man. I said there was one. I think it was like you did a profile on CBS, and you invited the crew onto the bus for the rehearsal.
Yeah,
and they said in there that this isn't like very rare that you would let like a camera crew, but to look at that and all you guys can
if you guys come to a show, man, come sit in vocal warm-ups. It's fun. Some people say that's better than the show because we're just all sitting there acoustically in a room, just our voices and instruments, and it's good bonding time with everybody too. That's something I look forward to because we don't hang out with the band a lot when we're home because we all have families. I think there's 25 kids in the band now.
Wow.
26 now. Caroline just had a baby, so it's
crazy.
Yeah,
that's smart though, because like you walk on stage, like this is like almost like your second set of the night. Like that second set is always like a little tighter,
you're warmed up
looser,
and ready, and you know what you're doing, and you're just disciplined, man. I've been sober for 7 years now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and just the taking care of yourself, taking care of your voice is like taking care of a baby. Like you have to hydrate all day, you have to take a nap, you have to get up, you have to exercise to wake your voice up, you have to steam shower, you have to do your warm-ups, you have to and you're drinking a couple gallons of water that day of the show, and it's like, if you want your voice to hold up and you sing for 4 hours a night, that's what you have to do. So you just have to get in a groove, man. You got to do, and it's just like showing up anything. You show up early for shit because on time's almost late. You tell the truth when you get there. You do the shit that you're supposed to do. You follow through, and that's just part of like being a man. And it takes a while. I remember I was probably 23 or 24 when I had a code where I was like, this is the way that I'm going to live. And then your life becomes a lot easier because you don't do anyone wrong. You don't have anything because if you make shitty decisions, your life's going to be hard. And life's hard anyway. So and I tell my kids that, like, you don't make this decision because I'm asking you to. Make it because it's the right thing and it's going to make your life easier. So what can we do now? And, after 40, your warranty runs out. So you better start investing into feeling good.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. Yeah. That's a good one. Your warranty runs out after 40.
Steve, what are your vocal warm-ups that you've done?
Yeah, dude.
Cough some dog hair out of your throat.
Yeah. What, you are super into... fitness, health, like the diet, like what's this company that is it Biltong?
Biltong.
Yeah.
So it's just like a healthier jerky. So we just launched a Biltong
brand.
It's South African beef jerky is where it comes from, but it's just dehydrated instead of smoked. But it's easy to eat and it's good. We just launched our brand, the
Biltong.
ZBB, Zach Brown Biltong. And we're just doing it direct right now, just getting going on that. But I eat a lot of protein. I've got an incredible nutritionist that I work with. She's like an Olympic gold medalist, and her husband's my trainer. So a friend of mine got me with this guy, and I just had back surgery like 4 months ago. I just had like a laminectomy, like back half of my vertebrae are gone. They just cut it off of my bottom 3 vertebrae.
What was the cause of that?
I had 3 herniated discs from playing football for 11 years and doing judo in college. And
Wow.
so I had bad discs. So I had bone fragments and junk and trash and stuff. So it's like the jelly between your discs is like smushed out like a jelly donut. And then there's pieces of bone and trash in there. So that was all on my nerves in my back so I had sciatica going down my leg. So fought that this whole tour and then got done and had to get a surgery and just get that fixed. Went to Mayo. If you got to get cut on, that's where I'm going. That place is unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. But now I feel great. I'm back to training again and I'm back to 100%. And I don't have any pain. As a kid, I had like a narrow spinal canal. I didn't know that. So I grew up that way. So as a kid, I'd sit on the floor. My feet fell asleep within like 20 seconds. My whole life. So and that doesn't happen now. So which is kind of cool. But you know, he's my trainer. Luke is unbelievable, man. He's like NFL strength training coach for like 18 years, but he teaches you how to not get hurt. So everything's soft tissue, flexibility, mobility, and then his wife is the nutritionist. So I just eat what she says and I do the workouts he sends me, and I've never felt better, man. I feel great.
Wow. 4 months off of surgery like that sounds pretty good to be like,
I'm
the way you are.
full training again. So it feels great.
And what does training look like?
It's usually about an hour a day. It's a lot of like rolling on foam rollers, balls that like you lay on in your armpits and lats and things that vibrate that like help to keep your soft tissue happy, where you have knots basically. Just like doing a self massage every day for like 30 minutes. You're rolling all your body weight on top of all your knots and like calming everything, your soft tissue down. And then your mobility, like flexibility, just getting your range of motion and everything. Because the older you get, the more like hunched over you get, the more your arms get like this. And you're like, so opening everything up where it's, you know, all your joints move and beyond where they kind of want to, you know, so that you don't get hurt, and getting all your core muscles strong. And so it's just like an hour a day. You just got to invest, man, because you can either suffer a little bit every day doing that, or you can suffer feeling like shit all the time. So but having people you can trust is major difference. You know, I trust them. So I just been doing what they say. And I think the first month that I did it, I lost 24 pounds in the first month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're 46, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel better now than I've ever felt. I feel great.
You know, I think I'm there, man. I was getting ready to turn 50, and I was like, man, screw this. I'm going to get in the best shape ever.
Yeah.
Celebrated my 50th birthday running a triathlon. And
oh, amazing.
You know, like, I'm like kind of a psycho, you know, with the yoga in the morning and, you know.
Same thing. Yoga's very similar to a lot of the work that he does.
Yeah.
Just making everything move and keeping the old man out.
It's crazy how, like, just walking is so good for you.
Yeah.
Like we're on tour. I've got this app called All Trails, and we'll find scenic hikes and stuff to go on.
Yeah, it's a great app. Yeah.
And you know, like we've had the whole crew go on hikes every day on tour, and like at the end of a leg of tour, we weigh less. We're healthier than That's pretty rare.
And we carry a trailer, a semi trailer that's a gym, and we have that for our crew and band, so they can come out and invest in proactively feeling good.
Yeah, dude. How many buses, how many trucks involved in the Zach?
General shows are probably 11 or 12 buses and probably 14 semis, something like that. So it's a circus, you know.
Yeah.
And it takes them from about 6:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon to set it up. We finish playing at like 11, and then in 2 hours everything's packed up. But we have probably 115 people on the road that travel with us, and then we have about 80 to 100 local hands, that union people that show up to help to unload everything and load it up.
Amazing. Is it true that you've the longest break that you took from touring was like 60 days? I mean, presumably after back surgery, it'd take a little more
until
than that.
COVID, for sure. Like 60 days is a long time. I mean, we've been grinding. And I come home every week because I don't want to be away from my kids. You know, there's one time when one of my daughters was 2 years old, and we had a travel hitch, and I didn't get home till the next day. But that's the only birthday I've ever missed. I never missed a holiday. I never missed birthdays. I make sure that I'm home. Like being a dad is first. That's above everything, and then the whole schedule has to work around that. And it's not efficient, like resource wise, because if you could just go out and tour and do like 60 shows and then come home, but I don't want to be away from my kids that long. They're in school, and so, you know, I always thought I'd have a family that like grew up on the road and like homeschool and roll around, but that didn't end up happening. And they turned out amazing. I've got amazing little people, but being present in their lives, the same thing. Like you got to be there. You got to be there to see what's happening. And if you're not, then, you know, you don't get the result necessarily or give them the things that they need to be able to do it. So
will you send like the 15 semis, 11 buses, like let them be kind of cruising on a path, and you'll dip out on your plane?
Yeah.
And
I'll fly in and meet up with them. Unless it's within a night's drive home, you know, fly out, meet up with the buses, play a show, sleep on the bus, ride to the next one, do it again, do that 3 times, and at the 3 or 4, and then at the end of that show, fly home. And you know, the plane, I never thought I'd have a plane, because I remember hearing about it, and I'm like, it costs what to do? But the only thing that you can't get more of is time. Yeah. And so it's you know, we just budget that into it so that we can get back to the things that matter, get back to the kids. It's like, you know.
And I heard you talking about your plane. That everything on the plane is you got a leather crafter guy.
Yeah, he actually works in this building right here behind the hangar here at the house.
So inside the plane is just like art, like
everything's
carved leather.
handmade. Yeah, the chairs are all handmade. The walls, the ceiling, everything.
Wow.
It's really unique. And I'm actually gonna be selling that plane this year. It's so sick. Like I've never seen anything like it. But I need more range, because we're gonna be touring in Europe a lot more. So
you need more range. So you got to be able to go across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, you know, we get about 9 hours of flight time in my plane, but you got to have an hour and a half reserved. So it's really 7.5, and then so that's great for the States. But going other places, the fewer stops you have, that buys time also. So it'll save like 3 or 4 hours going to Europe and places like that. So we're in the middle of, I'm going to sell my plane, which is just kind of like my baby, because we put so much love into it. But you know, you know, until we get to the point, I will always play, like always. Like I'll be like Willie, and you know, I'll be out there playing shows until I can't sing anymore or play anymore. So for me, those things are, you know, people can always shoot it down and talk about, you know, fuel and things like that, but you got to get back to the things that matter.
Oh wait! They can shoot it down and see whether, because
well,
you're
people
flying
talk like you're flying on a plane, you're like burning fuel and environment and everything like that. But you know, you got to get to where you need to go, and it buys you time, and those hours are precious. And your kids, as you see, I've got one that's about to go to college, and it's like you blink and they're grown, and so you don't want to miss out. I miss out on a lot. Just, you know, it's monopolizing doing what we do. People think it's just, you know, you get up and do a show and leave, but you're monopolized for days and days on the road, traveling and being there all day and in it. And I'm not complaining, because it's the life that I chose, and it's a beautiful life, but it comes along with its own challenges, like everything.
Dude, I'm acutely aware, and for me to have my guys, my crew, and how much sacrifice it is for,
and them too,
for them to just drop everything up and got no life for the next 3 weeks. We're on a run. Yeah. It's
but it's the greatest, man. Having your people that you want to be around, that you choose, and then that they got your back, and they're putting out all the fires, so you can be doing what's the best use of your time.
We have a pretty good time, man. The energy on my crew is epic.
Yeah, we make the most of it. We have a great time.
Yeah,
that's the sugar.
So you got a big show coming up for New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
State Farm Arena.
State Farm, yeah.
And that's that's in Atlanta.
That's in Atlanta. Yeah, that's where the Hawks play.
Yeah.
We haven't played there in a long time. It used to be Phillips Arena a long time ago. We haven't played. You know, we do a hometown show every couple years or something like that. But our biggest markets are like up in the Northeast.
Okay.
So it's,
Oh yeah, of course, Fenway Park. You
Yeah.
got the record.
yeah.
The what is it? The most consecutive sold out shows at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
That
We've
is
done 3 in a
amazing.
row, 3 sold out shows in a row there. But Boston's incredible to us, man. It's
I mean, dude, what a distinction. I mean, you think about that, like that's a stadium. I mean, it's a baseball stadium.
I like baseball stadiums better because they sound better. Football
yeah?
stadiums are like a big bowl, you know, and the sound is awful. It washes around. I like them, but you have to set up 3 sound systems. Like you have to have 3 sets of arrays going out there. A lot of
Right.
people don't invest in the right sound for them. So somebody that's way in the back in the nosebleeds is going to hear, you know, all the wash of the bass and everything like that. So, but the baseball stadiums feel intimate, but they're big. You fit like 44,000 or something in there, but it still feels like and it sounds good.
They're almost built like an amphitheater too, just by the nature of the design of the
Just
field.
being right at home.
Wow, I
plate.
never even
Whereas,
thought about
whereas you
that.
play in an end zone at a football stadium, and it's just this long bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's all shaped like a bowl, and
Sure.
you know, it's I don't mind playing football stadiums. I'm not saying that I do, but you have to set up the sound the right way so that the fan experience is good, because you want to sound good. You want them to be able to hear what you're saying when you're talking.
Well, I think that the consensus is that your live show is undeniably as good as a concert's ever going to get. Like,
oh, thank you.
I'm
man.
I'm
And
honored.
that's a testament to my band, man. I got incredible people in my band. If you're doing it right, you're the worst guy in the band. You know, you
Yeah,
have the
dude.
right people around you that are so incredible. So we're blessed, and our crew is amazing. We have a real blessed journey. Next year's a really big year. We're gonna have some announcements this year. We're doing the biggest thing we've ever done next year. So we're gonna announce that. You know, probably around after springtime. Doing a spring tour coming up, and we'll be done touring in May because of what we're announcing. It's happening in December, but it's going to be pretty epic.
Dude,
So,
right on, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Well, dude, we kept you 20 minutes later than we
that's
were
fine.
supposed
No
to.
worries. No worries.
It's dude, it's an honor, man. Thank you so much
Likewise,
for
man.
this.
It's an honor to hang with you. Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Thanks for coming. Y'all need to come to a show, man. Bring this,
Yeah,
bring
dude.
this to the show.
We need to.
Dude,
We'd love for y'all
I would
to.
absolutely love to,
Yeah.
man. I would absolutely love to. And I just want to say it again, man, that the way that you care about helping people with special needs is really, really near and dear to me. And the way that you promote love and equality and like it's a big deal, man. You use your platform in a very responsible and admirable way.
Thank you.
And I would go as far as to say that you have a platform because of that.
I
you know?
agree. I agree. But I think I was giving my music to help to do those things. I think it all goes together. So when you're here following orders and following signs and listening and doing things, and you know, so I know you do a lot of good as well. So that's very, very appreciated from you, man. Thank you.
Well, hell yeah, brother. Right on,
Yeah.
man. Well, let's get on with your day, but thank you again.
Absolutely.
This was sick. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And there you have it, folks. Zach Brown is an official American badass and just a genuinely good guy. He walks the walk, man. He doesn't just say that he's all about helping people doing the right thing. He does it, man. It's very evident. And, man, I'm just a fan of his. And I'm a fan of yours for sticking around to the end of the Wildride podcast. It's the end of the year here. I'm back at the ranch. I've done my last shows, my last live shows for a little while. I'm taking a break. I'm really looking forward to getting a break, man. Really looking forward to it. But all kinds of fun stuff going on, and I've got all kinds of love for you. Thank you for sticking around, and happy holidays. Yeah, dude.